She got that sweet juice, Minute Maid, summer vibe, that lemonade. Take a sip, blowing purple clouds, taste like lemon haze. Conversations back and forth like damn, we could go on for days. Looking back at it like damn, she bad when she walk away. Here we go, been down this road, they already know. When we go on tour, I'll take you anywhere you wanna go. People talk about us like they understand just what this is. I just wanna give you all you want and then the double it. They all say I'm way too young, maybe I'm just ignorant. I won't find nobody like you on some real shit. Spend a couple hours on the phone, hey. I don't wanna let you go. I'll be all about you, babe. I'll be all about you, babe. Saying so unless you don't know, they won't find what we got and that gon' drive me crazy. No need to rush, I'ma still be here tomorrow. Had to take my chances.
As you can see, we've had our eye on you for some time now, Mr. Anderson.
I don't believe for 1 second that I am the only one smart enough to pick up the Bible and figure out that we're not supposed to mourn when homosexuals die.
One of these lives has a future, and one of them does not.
So what? So what?
So let's just do a quick check. Let's make sure that none of our Bibles have been tampered with.
I just take pleasure in their death. God has darkened their heart and blinded their eyes. Look, if God darkens your heart and blinds your eyes, you can't believe. You can't believe. Washing our feet in the blood of the wicked in the New Testament. I'm starting to just realize the uncomfortable truth. Who here really struggles hard to be a homo? I mean, it's really hard. And you know what? These people are going to be burning in hell for all eternity. The victory is theirs. It's not ours. They've already won. We've already lost. It's already been written. We've already read the last chapter. And we know
I don't love God.
you have lost your mind. Homosexuality should be a crime. They ought to take all the homosexuals and put them all on a boat and give them enough gas to get halfway out in the middle of the ocean and let the sharks eat them. So there's no way to stop me. There's no way to stop the truth. This isn't preaching, this is hate speech. It's both! Because we can purge out all the sissies and purge out all the fair weather Christians, purge out all the weaklings. Because we're supposed to be treating them lovingly and respectfully. Even though the Bible says they're filthy and vile. I mean, I know some of you guys are enjoying it. So don't act like I'm all alone up here. Some of you thumbed up some of those comments too, didn't you? No, I'm just saying, look, you know, hey.
You kind of caught me off guard here. Okay. Now, thank you, Lord. Let me put it very simple. It takes a lot of money to do that. Oh, yeah. Well, for example, that's really none of your business. But, hey, you listening to me? Let me give you another example. And I prayed about it, and I thought, back when, and I might add another thing too.
Are y'all
It's a
ready to have a good time
misunderstanding.
tonight?
I'm talking about the Bible. God, I get excited.
Are y'all
about
ready
that.
to get
I had to
late
learn
night
Abraham was
counter-apologetics started?
I learned it.
You better learn.
There's a foundation in the Bible.
Wait a minute now. The blessing of Abraham.
Oh yeah, I love to see the emojis on screen.
Abraham
We love to
was
see the hype.
extreme. And he had covenant with God. I'm talking about the Bible. Oh God, I love this. And I started out standing on grandfathers. I love them.
Tonight we gonna talk about crazy ass Rebecca, y'all,
And I understand that. And I love them with all my heart.
and her
If you
visit
keep going.
with searching for lies.
Hell on earth. He made that airplane so cheap for me, I couldn't help but buy it. I love your eyes. Face to face, personally. Just the same as Jesus is very real devil. Rulers of the darkness.
Rulers of the darkness.
But it's a biblical thing. It's a spiritual thing. It doesn't have
Yeah, it's a
anything
biblical
to do
thing.
with
It's a spiritual thing.
And it's full of miracles
It's full of
signs.
miracles,
and wonders.
signs,
It's
wonders.
full of unseen things. Jesus, people, I love people. Dragging some woman down an aisle, it made me so mad I wanted
now.
to punch the guy out myself. We wrestled.
B.S. Lewis, what's up? Let's see the emojis flying
And I have a
across
lot of
the
natural
screen.
gas.
And I have a lot of natural gas. Folks, are y'all ready for a very, very, very special edition of Late Night Counter-Apologetics? Hang on. First off, let's display, during the intro, folks, let's display us some original Cult of Flying Man artwork by none other than our very own YouTube punk. Hey. Let's go. Live from Sacred Death Studios in Los Santos, San Andreas. Welcome everyone to Late Night Counter-Apologetics. And now, please welcome your host. He is YouTube the wise man of the Sacred Death Motorcycle Club.
The Sacred Death
He
Motorcycle
is
Club.
the sexiest man in all of Word Wrestling Entertainment. All of them. He is the most entertaining man in the history of evolutionary biology. Sorry, Chucky Darwin. He is the virtual visionary. Visionary. Mr. Dual PhD himself. Please give it up for the architect of the atheist apocalypse. The only man to have his vestments blessed by Pine Creek. The one and only. The most high apostle of the cult of the Flying Man. Flying Man. He is none other than the Outlaw Prince. The one and only Jesus who can save us. Dr. Heartbreak J. Pocketlocker Bundy. I think I'm cute. I know I'm sexy. I've got the look that drives the girls. That really move 'em. I send chills up and down their spines. I'm just a sexy boy. Did y'all miss me? I'm not your boy toy. Are you watching me? I'm just a sexy boy. 'Cause you should be watching me. I'm not your boy. I am about to start some shit tonight. I make them hot. I make them shiver. Their knees get weak. Whenever I'm around, they see me walk. They hear me talk. I make them feel like they're on cloud nine. I'm just a sexy boy. I'm not your boy toy. I'm just a sexy boy. I'm not your boy toy. Let's go! Eat your heart out, girls. Hands off the merchandise. I'm just a sexy boy. I'm not your boy toy. I'm just a sexy boy. I'm not your boy toy. I'm just a sexy boy. I'm not your boy toy. I'm just a sexy boy. I'm not your boy toy. I'm just a sexy boy. I'm not your boy toy. I'm just a sexy boy. I'm not your boy toy. Welcome, everybody, to a very, very, very special edition of Super Late-Night Counter-Apologetics. It is your boy, the host with the most from the East Coast, and I am in... airplane mode. Folks, I am here. It's been such a crazy week. We have been grinding so hard. You probably don't recognize the stream. I don't recognize the stream. I don't recognize me. I want to give a very, 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 very special shout out to my very dear friend. I am talking about, of course, our nomadic bishop, Pastor Purple Haze, who has been kind enough to sub in for me over the last week. I heard y'all had a great time in the Spirit of Doubt. He's always really, really touching me, always challenging me, always questioning me, always reminding me that I do not doubt my doubt enough. And he told me, you've been doing great, but you need some rest. You need a vacation. So I'm so glad he filled in for me. As you can see, the AV team has been hard at work behind the scenes. We have all types of new toys and new tech, and the wardrobe department has been going crazy. They've been trying to set up interviews and special guests and special appearance. It's like I came back to a freaking madhouse and I already need another vacation, folks. All right, now, before I get started on today's very, very, very special program, I want to bring in someone who is, of course, a first-class citizen here at the First Church of the Flying Man. I'm talking about none other than our very own, our first pastoral assistant, and our first head of the deacon board. I am talking about the one and only Deacon No Name. Deacon No Name, are you with us, my friend?
Amen, hallelujah.
Amen, hallelujah. Amen. We have sound. All right, okay, Deacon No Name, before we get going, I'm actually going to switch back to my camera. But you can hear me all right, right?
I can hear you.
All right, Deacon No Name is not on camera. So before we get into today's festivities, folks, we're going to have a little bit of communion time. I'm going to get right into our communion ritual. That way, afterwards, we can get with Deacon No Name and get right into our video. But, folks, I want you to understand something when we do this. We're going to have a very, 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 very special communion time today. Very special. Give me 1 sec to make sure the worship team is ready to go here. Getting these guys ready. You know, we've had a week or so off here, so it's my fault. I'm just trying to get on the same page with these guys again. Since I have been out of the office, so to speak. Okay. I think they're ready to go. Yep, you guys sound good. A little tuning, a little sound check. Make sure everybody's tuned. Appreciate y'all. All right, folks. The reason we're having a very special communion time today is because this week, my cousin released some new music. Maybe it was last week, okay? I want you guys to understand something. When I drop this airplane mode in the chat, okay, this is not arbitrary. This is not a real thing. This is not something I just made up, okay? It's actually my cousin's brand. He's my favorite cousin. I showed y'all my music video the other day when I was rapping, when I was killing it, when I was crushing it, when I was just murdering everything. Believe it or not, I am not even the best rapper in my family. I know that's crazy. I know I am the most high apostle of the cult of the flying man. But believe it or not, I am not even the highest in my own family. The Most High has a cousin who gets even higher than the Most High. The most high. So, folks, I'm going to play you some music, some new music from my cousin OG Roddy, okay? And his music is just coming a long way. And this first song I'm going to play for y'all called Stunt 102 is going to be our new official opening song here on the Pocket Locker channels. Why? Because we going to show some love to Cuff. So I'm going to play this for y'all. Head over to airplanemode.com immediately. Let's go! Yeah, shit is fire. So you're not even ready. Hang on. That was actually an accident. All right, y'all, look. Before we do that, let's do this communion ritual. Everybody grab your stuff, grab your things, hold on to your butts. Deacon No Name, you ready for a little communion?
Oh, I was born ready.
All right, here we go, folks. Through him, with him, in the unity of the flying man. All glory and honor is yours who flied for our sins forever and ever.
Amen.
All right, folks, go ahead. Please raise your glasses and please enjoy the premiere of. Hang on, here we go. Please enjoy the premiere of Stunt 102 by OG Roddy from La Guardia. Whoa.
I might stunt, what's the problem? I ain't had shit to show, being modest. Now it's grams of the wax for my conscience. Bron James in LA, you're on collars. I've been jumping on them planes like a hobby. Still moving with the pack like my partners. Hit the John on them jets cause we wildin'. But the bowl is a party on the island, moment of silence. So good, get back to the topic. Grew up, it was me and Flocka. Grandma's and Big T, this my mama. I ain't even for the pain when my pots flip. Knew his name, that's it, never bothered. Mom said, you the man, son, you got this. Ever since I found a way to go and pop shit. Hold up, blaze through a whole zip. Took a seat at the table of my first flip. Days in red roof with my first whip. Split the money with the gang, never post pics. Seen a change in the game, had to coach it. Never let them take my wangs in the mold, bitch. Ever made in a month, nigga. Used to serve him at the minute just to front, nigga. Goddamn. Had to grow up quick, I made my own rules. Had my first child, got it jumping with music. Can't really hang with nobody who losing. I thought by now that you would go and get it, but I could hardly see niggas this distant. Know you get cropped if you not in the picture. And I made that tag and went got a bag. Shots to the Henny and OG prescriptions, put rebel shit on the map. Took a leap from where I started at. Started ballin', now I'm Chris Paul and Cats. Got him steady calling for the mold, but I'm on a roll, gotta call him back. And that's all fact.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome aboard. All carry-on items should now be stowed securely, either in an overhead bin or under the seat in front of you. All aisles, exits, and bulkhead areas should now be clear. All electronic devices should now be turned off and stowed, as they may interfere with the aircraft's navigational and communication systems. Once airborne, we'll let you know when you may use approved electronic devices, but note that some...
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Woo, y'all gonna be hearing more of that. Y'all gonna be hearing some more of that. Oh my goodness. Let me keep that up. Let me keep that up. Shout out to Cuz though. Shout out to Cuz, man. Now y'all know it's legit. Y'all know it's legit. Y'all can see talent runs very, very deep in the family. I'm far from the old. Believe it or not, him and I ain't even tripping because all the old heads in our family is talented as fuck. So we grew up around a bunch of crazy ass talented old heads. So ain't really shit to it. All right, let's get rid of that. Oh yeah, there we go. Let me see. Yeah, this is what we want. That's what we want. All right.
You know, I feel bad. I mean, you've kind of shamed me, Reverend.
Why? How's that?
Well, I have. Excuse me. I have a younger brother who was the lead singer / producer / writer / everything for this band. And they're actually really good. A lot of their tour dates got canceled due to COVID. Right. They'd gotten optioned by the Discovery Channel to have one of their songs as the theme song for one of their pilots, but the pilot never got made or something. Got you.
But
yeah, they're called the Wolves of Chernobyl.
Let's check them out. We got a minute. Shit, we ain't in a rush.
Oh, okay.
We ain't in a rush.
Right now. Well, in that case, then I'm always trying to get to get more.
Let's give him some love. What's it called? Wolves of what?
The Wolves of Chernobyl.
Oh, here we go. The myth.
Where are you looking?
YouTube.
I think you have to put in band.
Is Municipal Waste one of their songs?
No.
All right.
No, give me a sec. I'll.
Yeah. Here we go.
And as a young man, he was summoned.
Let's go.
Spent his best years with blood on his hands.
Is this it?
Yeah. That's one of their. So it sounds like the Dragon of Red Round.
Yeah, they going. Let's go. This like they had like some like a bluegrass feel to it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Let's get this. Oh yeah. Oh, some motorcycle shit. Fuck out of here. Let's go. Stop playing. I love when my show gets so much better than I had planned. Let's go.
And as a young man, he was summoned.
I'm fucking feeling this.
You see him live.
His best years with
Yeah, I'm definitely buying into that idea right now. Yes, this is what we do. Come on, let's go. Some outlaw Prince shit right here. Sacred Death, let's go.
Yeah.
Look at the lineup. Look at the 2x2. Look at the 2x2. Look at the cuts. Come on, let's go. This is some real MC shit right here. They are following the MC commandments. Let's go.
Live it.
Another man's crown.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
And so we called him the Dragon of the Rock, as he coiled on top of his hoard. All this gold was dust in our mouths, and you eat it, and you drink it, and rest your head, and all your life was wasted.
Fucking phenomenal.
All this treasure lost its luster.
I need to just make riding music videos.
Yeah.
I'm into it. Yes. For the love of the motherfucking road. Let's go.
But yeah, they're Prague. They change up time signatures a lot. The shtick, the premise of it is that they're the band that would exist after the apocalypse. They're limping around the country.
The dragon lies inside.
Yes. Yes.
Buried in state in his trophy room. Patient for death on the infant shroud. The carrion waits his
fucking
final
sick.
breath. The dragon lies inside this boneless tomb, buried in state in his trophy room.
Love the fucking hype, man.
Patient for death on the infant shore. The carrion waits his final breath, and all eyes inside his bone was wasted. All this effort expended, buried in state. All this treasure, just my right. And all for that on good for crafting the diadems and coordinates of a thief in his
Glad you like that. I'm a little biased. So.
Oh, I love it. Oh, I fucking love it. I'm gonna do one more.
Oh, sure. Yeah, it's a good one too.
And I love the riding videos. I love this. It's literally inspired me to make more of these.
Do they all have this?
choice.
I think it's an album. It's how they did the album for this video.
Oh.
Yeah, it's fucking badass. Yeah, it's badass. It's a great idea.
I guess I just listened to it on Spotify.
And my mouth betrays my place.
It's a great idea for an MC, like a long listen, a long ride, and video both. That's fucking, bro. We're so into this shit. I love this.
I just didn't realize he did that.
Yeah. I think it's fucking phenomenal.
They were left with fight or flight.
So chill. And he gets double value?
What's that?
Hang on. Why is that not the music? Okay, there we go. I said it gets like double value because you can like do whatever, like work or watch something else and listen to the music.
Yeah.
But some people might also listen to something else once in a while and then like watch the ride video like while they're like, it's just pretty sweet. Because like if I was just sitting here like, I don't know, like just chilling or something, like this is a good little video clip, right? To just chill to, like with a nice ride.
There's nothing else to know.
Does he write these songs?
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, he writes all the music. Yeah, he's an incredibly creative guy. But he's like Eeyore. He's always depressed.
Yeah, this is wild. Sorry about that. I didn't mean to do that.
What's that?
I moved the overlay. I was gonna change an overlay, but actually, I guess I can do it actually in real time. It's fine. No big deal. Let's go over here. I want to see something. I wanted the emojis to come up. I'm gonna let it. He's gonna get another song while I try to do this. I'm enjoying this. We're promoting him.
Oh yeah, no, it's great. I'll have to let him know that.
Guys, remind us of the name again. No name. Plug the name again. Wolves at Chernobyl. Wolves at Chernobyl.
The right time to say this, and now I'm standing here and I'm all out of time. There's nothing left inside this leather scabbard, but rusting metal all painted home. But what a way to lose the duel, to have the blade break off at the hilt, and you were the movement finish.
There we go.
You were the thought complete. I lived and died in the case of your mania. I fell in love with habits and seeds. And all of my supposed strategies have fallen flat on their face again. Accused of nothing but manipulation, as you twist every word I said. But you were the movement finish, and you were the thought complete. I rose and fell in the days of your mania. I fell in love with your disease. And we were waiting and waiting for something just like this. Another shoe to fall, and it And this moment finally realized when we saw each other in the light of day today. And what a fool to think that this was ever finished, ever complete. When you believe it's finally done, then you are probably proven right. Proven right. But you were the movement finished, and you were the thought complete. I lived and died in the days of your mania. I fell with half a disease, and you were the circuit closed, and you were the light for me. I rose and fell in spite of your mania. I fell with your disease, and you were the movement finished, and you were the thought complete. I lived and died in the days of your mania. I fell with half a disease.
All right. I fucking love it. I love it.
I'm glad you like to check it out. I posted, posted links to their Bandcamp, and I know they're on Spotify and all that. You know what? I guess I had noticed that they put. I give them a hard time about not putting more of their stuff on YouTube, and then they go and do it, and I didn't even know.
Yeah, well, thanks for doing that, man. Do me a favor, actually, and send that, put that in the Discord for us. Put it under community content, actually, so people just see it.
Yeah.
And then I guess you could drop it in general, too.
One? Yeah, I'll do that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I got it. I'll bring it back in. I'll give you the permission to drop links there.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I got to put the bot on it.
Jay doesn't click any Bandcamp.
That's why we don't have it in the link.
Oh, what's Bandcamp? I don't.
No. I'll click a Bandcamp link. I don't mind.
Is that like a bad site?
No. It's just earlier I clicked on a link and then I had an issue with my computer and I thought maybe it might have been the link, but I don't think it was. It was an issue I've had. It's like a rare thing, but it happens once in a while. My computer looks like it's possessed by a zombie and I can't really type anything.
Yeah. No, if it's just like a bad known site.
Yeah. And actually now that I can tell you guys, to be honest with you, I'll tell you guys some behind the scenes shit. Now that we're back to streaming with Streamlabs OBS, it's actually much easier for me to pull up links from the chat.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so that's a hell of a lot easier. And then I also think now that you and I are over here in the actual StreamYard app, and I don't mind streaming this. I kind of like streaming this because now it's like now I'm like streaming like a backstage type of thing. Although, let me see, where did this camera come from? There we go. All right. So let's see. I think I can also go ahead and like highlight chats and whatnot. Yeah, there we go. How would I do that? I guess I could do this, and then I could play I'll play the video on that screen that I'm sharing. No, I'm gonna do it the other way because then you won't be able to see it. So let's do it the way I was gonna do it, which is.
Well, since I'm just in over there, why don't you put her over me?
Oh yeah, I could put her up there as a source from the other screen.
Maybe you just want to optimize screen space. I was just.
Yeah.
I don't know why every time I try to upload an avatar to this thing, literally freezes everything up and crashes my computer.
But yeah, it's no worries. Yeah, but maybe I'll do that if I notice it puts you in a certain spot when it's just me, you, and a screen. Then I'll lay something there. I'll lay the screen over there or whatever. All right, so this looks pretty good. I'm fine with this. Actually, what I should do, to be honest with you, is I should go over here on the other screen and I should log into Restream over here, and then I can do behind the scenes stuff. All right, guys. So look, I'm gonna get into it. I'm gonna start playing clips. If I want to do stuff for a little bit, that'll give you guys a chance to get into this footage. I don't know how long I'm gonna get to, but look, I'm gonna get right into it. I'm gonna tell you what's up today, y'all. I have my suspicions that I am going to be ousted by our apologetics, counter-apologetics community before I even get started. I'm making contingency plans for nobody to ever want me on their show. One, I'm trying to take over the internet, so it just comes with the territory. Two, we're really not out here trying to make friends. Three, I think that there's a lot of stuff that goes on in the name of friendliness and just everybody wanting to powwow and get along. And, sort of like I feel about philosophy, it gets a little uninteresting for me at some point. I'm jumping in the studio here from behind the scenes. Oh, actually, just go ahead and log in. Bot. Uh-oh. Row. Bye. All right, that should be gone. Let's see. Screen goes back, and then
What happened?
It was just I think I needed to mute myself. No.
There you are. You were muted for a second there.
Yeah.
Oh, they can't cancel Jay. YouTube. They can't.
I'm trying to get rid of the echo.
Oh, you're hearing an echo?
Yeah. All right, can you still hear me?
Oh, it's coming through Twitch. Oh, I.
Yeah, is voice reader open on this thing?
But I don't hear you.
Yeah, I'll get rid of it. Check. Oh, it's...
I hear music. Sound is rushing. Wait, it's still loud.
All right, sorry. Can you hear me now?
Okay, I don't hear you.
You don't hear me now? You can't hear me? This is so ridiculous.
Okay, YouTube hears you.
YouTube hears me.
Twitch.
Leave. All right, can you hear me? Can you hear me? All right, here we go. All right, that should be better. It's just annoying. I was trying to log into like another, on another
All right,
tab.
YouTube, I'm going to need you to communicate to Jay for me.
I can hear him.
You're going to have to communicate to me for
Don't
Jay.
worry, I can hear him.
And then we'll just kind of translate.
Can he not hear me? No name, you still... Oh, I'm still muted, that's why. All right,
Oh.
No name, we're good. You can hear me, right?
Ah, there you are. Yep,
Yeah. All right, so hang on. What I was trying to do is get logged in so that I could do the chat stuff behind the scenes.
Mm-hmm.
But it adds me to the studio in a way that's really weird. All right, let me try this. Nope. See, it won't let me go. It won't let me come in without joining into the studio. So anyway, that's not gonna work. Sorry about that, chat. All right, let's go ahead and play this footage. Let me see what they're seeing on screen. They're seeing death on screen. All right, that's not good. Sorry about that, y'all. All right, here, let's go ahead and play this Rebecca clip here. Let me add it to the Added to the thing. All right, so y'all, here's the deal. The reason is I gotta be honest with you guys. I think that, all right, I guess in this clip we're gonna be talking about Rebecca, right? So Rebecca is gonna be our unfortunate example today. I just don't think these people are really making a good faith effort to find the truth anymore. I'm convinced that they are like I think they're actively and somewhat coercively sort of playing this game where they're really sweet people. Hang on a second, my mouse feels like it's stuck and I don't know. Okay, there we go. Where it's like they're playing this game and they just are not really genuinely trying anymore. It's like stuff has been explained to them over and over and over again, and so they're no longer interested. So let me go ahead. Actually, let me do this over here. Let me pull this down. There we go. I'm going to play this, and we'll go from there.
I'm so excited to
Sorry,
have
I should have done this behind the scenes. I'm just getting it with the new stuff. We got a bunch of new tech.
Today, and we're going to talk about endogenous retroviruses, and he's recently come out with a book called the Endogenous Retrovirus Handbook. And his book is showing why, although endogenous retroviruses are often promoted as evidence for evolution, Donnie, your book is showing why that's not the case. Is that right? Donnie, your book is showing why
Yes.
that's not the case.
Oh, just one second. I've got your...
Yeah.
We're good. We're good. Yes, exactly. It shows why endogenous retroviruses are not what the evolutionary community makes them out to be, like, the single best evidence for common ancestry. And it not only refutes ERVs as evidence for common descent, it also provides an alternative explanation, a superior model, essentially.
Great. Well, can you start by telling us why are endogenous retroviruses said to be good evidence for evolution?
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, firstly, and I appreciate you promoting the book. So I've got 2 copies here. So this is, the copy.
All right, everybody. Again, I don't prep these things, so I have no idea what's going on. But here's what we're going to do. We're going to pay very close attention to the explanation and try to ask yourself a very simple question. Does this person actually understand what they're talking about?
That most people have, but currently there is like a limited edition version. So the Endogenous Retrovirus Handbook, limited edition, that would be like your most up-to-date version. And
real quick, Jay, can you pause
praise the Lord, it was pretty cool.
Yeah,
the
hang on.
first week of release.
Go for it.
I just didn't want to miss,
No, you're good.
context.
Yeah, you're good.
So who is this guy, and what are his credentials?
Oh, sorry. That's good. Sorry. I'm a little frazzled, taking care of things. Appreciate the helping me work through this. So this is a guy called Searching for Truth. I want to actually thank our community because I'm sure I found it because of somebody. I think Cameron actually sent me this stuff, and I had found this channel maybe through somebody else's channel a little while back. And I know when Cameron sent me a link to this guy doing whatever with Beck, I was like, oh my goodness, this is that guy. And I think his community to me is I'll tell y'all straight up, like, I just think they're off the reservation wacky. And what I've basically come to admit to myself, at least it's where I'm currently at. And again, I don't know how much of this I'll even be able to get through because I probably just want to rant, and I think it's probably going to be trash, is that they're just actively trying to undermine the truth as soldiers for their faith.
Right.
And I actually think that even their kind behavior is weaponized. Like, I literally think Rebecca weaponizes kindness.
Yeah, it's tactic.
Yeah, it's a tactic. Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's absolutely a
that
tactic.
shouldn't be. That's what they taught us when we were Christians, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Kill 'em with kindness.
Kill 'em with kindness, exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
So I mean, yeah, that shouldn't. I don't know.
Yeah. No. Yeah,
It shouldn't be anything new. To anybody.
No, it's not. I don't think it's new, but I think it's important to call it out now and just be like, hey,
I see.
you know, this is hey, you guys are going to kill us with kindness so that we keep listening to you and showing up to your stuff and participating and having a conversation. But like, if you compare it to say, again, I'm hoping to tomorrow afternoon on Hot Program have a conversation with a young man who's actually, I would say, in the process of leaving Christianity. Some of you may know him. He's popped up recently on a couple other channels. His name's Staten, or I'm trying to think of his handle. But you know, I'm much more interested in that conversation, right? Because it's a person. It's like connecting with a friend. They're going through something. They're trying to have a conversation. You want to reach out. It's a great opportunity to build a relationship with somebody and have conversations that are exciting to me because I went through that experience. I lived that. And anytime I encounter anybody who's doubting that, I just get like buku crazy excited, right? Because I'm like, oh, I remember how hard that was and how alone I felt, and I recognize that like this is my chance to like, you know, be a part of the support system for somebody else going through the process. This is it. This is what I've been looking for, you know. It's what brought me to the dance. But now I'm starting to look at this other community like, oh, y'all are just the YouTubers. Cool. Oh yeah, some of y'all really like your YouTube channel. Yeah, I'm gonna pop up on the panel, probably in costume, probably being silly as fuck because I don't really take anything that seriously. Probably chit chat for a bit. Oh, if y'all catch me with an interesting conversation, I'm here for it. If not, I'll catch y'all later. Deuces. You know what I'm saying? And I notice a lot of the content creators I really like they're not even engaging in a lot of these communities. I'm trying to figure out why, and I'm like, oh, I see. And I think anybody in this space, you go through a process, you mature, right? Life is not about staying in the same place. You see what I'm saying? And for me, it's like I know the process. I started feeling super alone. Like, oh, I'm out here trying to do this and I don't know who to do it with and there's nobody to talk to. Everybody around me is a Christian. This was so lonely, right? Then I'm locked down during COVID. I start finding the lectures and the debates and all of that. And then I'm like, all right, I feel like I've worked my way through the lectures and debates. And I found the YouTube community, worked through a lot of the arguments and the content and all the different things I was feeling. I was like, all right, I kind of worked my way through that. You see what I'm saying? Then I felt like, okay, now I'm chatting with people, getting to know people. Okay, now we're doing more of the live stream thing. And I'm like, okay, this is where it's at. Right now I'm building a community. I'm making friends. I'm starting to know people. People starting to know me, you know. Then it was like, okay, cool. I want to do my thing. Then I want to like pop up. And then it was like, oh, cool. Wow, I was on Pine Creek today. That's super fucking cool. Oh my God, I was talking with Nate today. Wow. Oh my God, me and Danny likes me. You know what I mean? So you're kind of doing that whole deal. And now I'm like, we've got so much going on. I've got like 0.05 spare seconds a week. And I'm just like, look, we're good. We got enough going on.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Yeah, ain't nobody got time for that. Exactly.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Yeah, so I'm like, if y'all catch me on a good day or y'all want to set something up and it sounds cool, you know, I'm with it. Of course, I'm gonna keep watching the content and being in the chat because that's just fun. Sure. But yeah, I'm just kind of like, and so for now, I'm just like, we'll see what happens. But yeah, for me, where I'm at with it is definitely more interested in what we've got going on in our own community. And and some of this apologetic stuff, I'm just calling it what it is. And I feel like, here's what happened. The whole thing with me and Rebecca, people probably wondering like, what's my thing with Rebecca? Actually, it really started from the fact that I really admired her for a long time. And I feel like she's part of the community. So I sort of felt like she was the example of like one of our Christians. Like she's a Christian. I don't believe shit she has to say, but you know, she's a part of our community like so many other people are. To be honest with you, that's the one thing I really like about that community. I think a lot of communities talk a good game about interfaith and being accepting to all kinds of people, but I think ironically enough, it's kind of this atheist counter-apologetic space where you actually really do see people of all different backgrounds and walks of life come together, you know? Like you really do. We'll have a panel discussion and it'll be, you know, a good mix of theist and non-theist and some witch doctors and all types of shit we get into. So I really appreciate that. And so I kind of valued that about her. I still value that about her participation and her community and her content. You know, it's not a lot of theists that are going to let atheists, you know, dominate their chat and take over their live streams and do all these panels, right? But at the same time, I've had to sit back and, you know, I think about it essentially from an educator, right? And for me, I'm like, at this point, if Rebecca was one of my students, we'd have real problems. You see what I mean? Like
oh, yeah.
Real problems. Like, you're not going to pass this class.
I get cracked up at the thought of Rebecca taking one of your classes.
Yeah, it would. It wouldn't work. Right now, it's a hard F. Hard F.
Yeah.
Hard F. And the problem is, I could tell.
I think you skipped quite a few steps to get to your class.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
I can see some like hard nose at the basic level.
Yeah.
Like biology 101. No. Sorry, Rebecca. No.
Yeah. Exactly. And the thing is,
she's dumb. She just refuses to accept it. She's obviously not dumb.
No, I actually think she's dumb.
Like, I think you're right.
I think she's dumb. I've been having a hard time
really
finding the
think so?
courage. Yes. Yes. Yes.
Oh.
Yes.
See, I don't think she's.
I don't mean low IQ. I don't mean low IQ, dumb, like unintelligent. No. I just mean she's stupid, like stuck on stupid, like just like refuses to see. And here's the thing.
She's being willfully obtuse.
Yeah, willfully obtuse. Just blinded by the love of Jesus.
Which is ironic because isn't that what they commonly accuse us of?
Absolutely.
Right? Like Romans 1:19, it's written on your heart, you're denying your knowledge and your unrighteousness, right? And it's like, well, no, I'm not really doing any of that. But you are a Christian person. You are, in fact, doing exactly that. You're suppressing this knowledge. That we
Absolutely.
All
100%.
The age of the universe may be a little bit, you know, in question. Is it 13.8? Is it 13.9? The age of the Earth, is it 4.5 or is it 4.6 billion years old? But we ain't quibbling over, you know, fundamental shit. We're quibbling over, you know, niggling little details and stuff. You people are saying it's 6,000 to 10,000 years old in the face of all this evidence.
Right.
Mountains of it. And your evidence is a book and a tradition.
Exactly. And yeah, it's I got to be honest with you, it's incredibly difficult to deal with, right?
Talk it out, bro. That's what we're here for.
Yeah.
Get it out of your system.
Yeah,
Use
no.
your personal go.
All right, so hang on. So for me, the start of it, and here's I guess what really gets at me is I really do value education, right? And I'm starting to fundamentally understand that religion doesn't, and it exists essentially to undermine education, right? And so who we feel for are the people who aren't educated and they can't be. You know, didn't have the whatever, right? The birth lottery. In any way, shape, or form, just missed the birth lottery. What I can't have as nearly as much sympathy for is the people who have had all the education and just refuse to acknowledge what they've been taught. And I think with me now, it's starting to bother me because what I've noticed about it, here's what really has changed my motivation lately. I've actually started to be irritated, not with her, but now I'm more actually irritated with the atheist and the counter-apologist.
Why is that?
Because I'm like, y'all keep doing this. Like y'all just sit there and do this for hours and hours and hours, and y'all won't really call her out on what it really is going on.
Well, why would you bite the hand that feeds?
Yeah,
right?
Well, that's
she gives them a platform.
Right.
She's the only Christian that gives people a platform.
Right.
Like that. She does have a lot of Christians in her chat.
Right.
I don't think many of those Christians are on the doubting side of the equation. So I don't.
Good
know
night,
how
YouTube punk. Good night, YouTube punk. Go ahead.
I don't know how helpful, that really is, for them. I mean, it's obvious that she has the same intention that, like, say, Doug has. It's just that, well, the difference is that the people that she gets to call on her show make better arguments than the people Doug gets to call in on his show. So
Right.
I don't mind her doing it. It gives a lot of Christians, at least they see, people like Danny, people who make good arguments that show that atheists aren't all, oh, we're atheists now. We got to put on the black eyeliner and lipstick and turn into transsexuals or whatever they think we do when we become atheists.
Right.
And so, I mean, I'm okay with Rebecca. I mean, to me, it's like, it's not offensive what she's doing. That's just an old Christian tactic. It's just that she's the first YouTuber maybe you and I are aware of that does it. Good for her. Like, that's great. But at the end of the day, I look at the arguments, right?
Right.
And I think anybody who arguments reach, arguments convince, also do too. Which means that if they are listening in and they're of the kind of skeptical frame of mind, or they're having doubts and they're on the fence, and because they're on Rebecca's stream, they get access, well, not access, but become aware of an argument
Right.
against God that they've never heard of before, then I think ultimately she's doing the spirit of doubt's work. Like,
yes. I have just realized, and that's kind of, I think you're, and I appreciate this feedback and commentary. I'm feeling like,
this is my take.
I'm feeling like the same way, right? Like, I find, religion is useful, as my one black friend says, right? And while I'm not a huge fan of these type of people personally, I'm certainly very, very interested in reaching their audience, right? And so I think we all have a certain healthy degree of utility in all of these relationships, right? But I'm sort of assessing, like where do I actually sit with people and how do I actually feel about people? And like, for me, I'm just kind of like, oh, yeah, like that's fine. We can all keep making content together, and I'll certainly play nice, maybe to go along in building content and stuff like that. But I've just been like kind of like, oh yeah, this is the thing, and it bugs me too, because I do feel like it intersects with like a lot of the privilege and a lot of the sort of ways in which I see that at least the apologetics community that I've been participating in is kind of like, pretty well off and usually super white dominated. And part of that is like, and I feel this way generally about, having to be, let's just say, a rare black, if not the only black in so much of the circles I happen to deal in, that there's always like that. Like if you have if you have this mentality, let's say, of, civility is like the highest order of importance. No matter what, you must always be civil and cordial and, treat your interlocutor with the most deference, right? Then it's like, well, you really you must not seriously be anticipating an enemy, right? Because, anybody who commands you to love your enemy has never, been under threat by a real enemy, right? Because if you have, that you can't do that. But you know what I'm saying at a fundamental level, right?
I've read Sun Tzu enough. Yeah, well, yeah, the whole love your enemy thing is bullshit.
Right.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. That's a bunch of nonsense.
So all I'm speaking to is I think that, and I'm not trying to judge people. I'm just trying to assess a difference. For me, conversations when they become too civil, they kind of lose interest for me, because it means that the people don't have anything at stake. Like, I realized that kind of the other day when I got upset when they wouldn't let me ask questions about that dude trying to explain how the I don't know, the argument from fine tuning points to a God, right?
Yeah.
And the reason was because I was trying to make the point that even though they keep wanting to bring up all this scientific shit, and if we found this, and if we scientifically found that, and if we scientifically found that, it would point to the God thing. It's like, no, it fucking wouldn't, you fucking assholes, because it's not a scientific theory, right?
Yeah.
And as soon as you ask them to explain the argument to you, I'm going, I don't see how this gets you to a God. What does he say? Well, if you were a God who was all powerful and all loving and wanted to create, then it would make sense. Wait, well, and I was like, what? Where does that come from, right? And then that's when they got pissed at me, like I'm being rude. No, I'm not being rude. I'm trying to make a point, but where does that fucking... And this is my point about deism. Stop letting people who support these deistic ideas act like they're fucking smart. They're even stupider than the fucking theist. Because the theist is smart enough to say, hey, I got this God idea. Where'd you get it from? I got it from this religious text. Why'd you get your dumb God idea from your dumb religious text? Oh, because I'm an adherent to this dumb religion. And you can be like, oh, okay, that makes sense, right? What do fucking... deists do? Oh, I don't believe in that theism stuff. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not one. Okay, cool. Well, I just believe if you were an all-powerful being who wanted to create the universe and set up the universe just as it was according to the laws of nature. And I'm like, well, where'd you get that idea from? Right? The origin of all these fucking God ideas is fucking religious books about gods. There is no scientific God theory. None. Not a single one ever. There never has been and there never fucking will be.
The God hypothesis, when proffered, has failed spectacularly.
Spectacularly.
Now, I know it may be fallacious of me to say, well, just because every time a naturalistic mechanism has been posited and it's turned out to be the case that there was, in fact, a naturalistic mechanism for the phenomenon that we were experiencing. And never have we ever said, oh, I guess God must have done it, right? Like, that was never a better explanation than a naturalistic mechanism. So why on earth would I even entertain the notion, right?
Right.
Like, if you show up at every town hall meeting and you're just some crazy person, and we're trying to explain a rash of, say, vandalism in town, like there are kids riding around with baseball bats knocking over mailboxes, and you got this crazy person at every town hall meeting going, it's a bunch of leprechauns and they're going around the town and they're knocking over the mailboxes. Nobody has to consider that. Nobody has to take that hypothesis seriously. And so, like when you proffer God as a hypothesis, I'm like, okay, well, that's nice. That's cute. At the end of the day, you know.
I completely agree. And not only that, like, I'm starting to honestly think that if I'm going to really... Okay, let's put it to you like this. If I'm going to treat you seriously, man to man, as an adult, right? Then I feel like part of that should be like, I don't have to treat them that seriously. I could treat them like children. Because
they have an invisible friend.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. At the end of the day, when the rubber meets the road, right? Imagine it's me, you, and like, 30 of these batshit motherfuckers on a ship, right? And the shit starts to leak and something happens, right? And they all start praying, right? I'm not going to spare a second for any of them before I'm like, yo, no name, what's the game plan? Right?
Oh, it's definitely God.
Because I know, I don't know what the fuck these people think is going on. I don't know if they really believe this or if they're just going to hope, but now is not the time. I know every second counts. I'm going straight to who's got their both feet firmly planted in reality, knows exactly what time it is, and is ready to fucking come up with a game plan and spring into action immediately. You see what I'm saying? And it's like when the rubber meets the road, if it's really life, and it's like the same thing with the COVID, right? Like everybody's, like your brother said, like he had to cancel gigs. That's how I knew COVID was real.
Oh,
right?
Man. Yeah, it's bad.
My advisor closed the lab. right? Like, and I got to take y'all back. This is like, I don't know, early, right? It was before anybody really started closing. No lockdowns, no shutdowns, no nothing. No. I don't even think maybe we don't have cases in the state yet. Like, it was like the kids had just came back from spring break, and he'd been telling us since the year before. He'd been telling us in 2019 about COVID. He had talked about it all the time, and we were like, yeah, whatever, right? and then all of a sudden, all of us microbiologists were like, yeah, whatever. And then all of a sudden, what happened was the students had spring break and they came back and people were starting to and he was like, nope, I'm not. So he closed it and wouldn't let anybody in the lab. And I was like, wow, like he just shut down the longest running evolution experiment in the history of science. This shit is real, right?
I didn't realize he shut the experiment.
He didn't have to shut it down. He froze it. Where it's E. coli, so we had to freeze it, and and then we could bring it back out. But we completely stopped it, right? And it's never happened in 30 years, right? Like, and it did stop it. Like we literally had to, but it was so. And I mean, we're lucky, right? A lot of other researchers they lost their research, right? Because if you had to, take care of something and you couldn't get to it, or you had, all types of facilities just lost. I can't even imagine. But anyway, and then so immediately I had to cancel gigs. Like I was setting up gigs. Remember I was trying to start a band and be the musical director for this band with this great phenomenal singer we were working with, and that didn't work out. And she was mad. That's actually why her and I stopped hanging out. Was she got really mad at me for canceling the gig. And I was like, sorry, like my number one responsibility as the musical director is the safety of the other musicians, right? I can't have them play, somebody gets sick, and then that's on me. I knew, and I didn't, you know what I mean? It's like, no fucking way. So anyway, to make a long story short though, it's like fast forward to, that was the reality, right? The lab is shut down. All gigs are canceled. Here's what's interesting. As soon as he shut down the lab, I called the worship pastor from my church, right? And they had just gotten out of a staff meeting. So I knew they had all just been sitting around in their meeting talking. And the campus had just, it was about to close down. It was all over the news. I was like, so do y'all have a plan for COVID or whatever? Did y'all talk about that? And he told me no. Asking me why would they do it? It's like, look, I can't play this weekend. Like, this thing's really bad. And they ended up canceling the service and canceling church. But the point is, they hadn't come up with the plan at that point. They were going to go forward with everything until, they couldn't. And then they lied to me about it later. Wow. Yeah. The lead pastor, we had a meeting later, and they tried. Yo, check this out. I'll tell you a real story. You'll see. This probably is part of my motivation. I didn't even realize it, but so this happened on a Monday, right? And they called me back after the meeting and said that they hadn't talked about it. And then a little while after, I ended up in a meeting with the lead pastor and the head of the worship team, and fuck around and come to find out that they tried to say that they had a plan, but they just hadn't talked about it. I was like, no, you didn't, because I asked him personally and he told me. So one of y'all's lying to me, right? Now, is it the guy who called me in the moment, told me the truth, had no reason to lie about it when it actually happened, or is it the pastor trying to cover his ass after the fact? Pretty easy choice. Yeah. And then not only that, the purpose of the meeting wasn't to say, oh, Jay, you were right, and we did have to cancel that service, and we're so glad you were concerned about us. Thanks for calling and looking out for the health and safety of the fucking community, right? They were pissed at me because I, said I wasn't going to play, and then I messaged other people and told them, we shouldn't be doing this. So they got mad at me for basically, speaking out about COVID.
Oh, yeah, man. The people have the weirdest reactions. I mean, I think it's that sunk cost fallacy.
It is 100%, bro. You are touching my special place right now. I literally think that's the whole deal.
Yeah, we didn't shut down, bro, until my supervisor went into the hospital with COVID, and he was out for months. I mean, 9 months, almost a year. Man, that was great. I mean, man, we got so much more done. Things were so much smoother. But anyway, and he lost 70% of his lung function as a result. And he was one of those anti-vaxxers, right? He's a real big, like, Trumplican, and he was before he went out. One of the last little rows we got into, and I very rarely let myself get, baited into him at work, was over. Because he was out before the January 6th riots, so he was convinced that that Trump was going to somehow get the election thrown out. Like that was his big thing before he left, before he went out with COVID. So, it was so much fun laughing at him when he got back. I mean, I don't know how often you get to point and laugh at somebody and just say, "I told you so," repeatedly. But I enjoy doing that sometimes.
I do.
Childish, petty of me.
I've had it happen to me recently, but a lot of times, man, it's crazy because I don't know, bro. Like I want to, you understand, but at the same time, I know it's not their fault. And that's why I'm starting. All right, so here's what I was getting at, and I really do thank you. Also, I'm on the same page as YouTube Punk, who said the sort of, I forget what he said. Let me see what his comment is. Civility politics is bullshit. It was a while back, but I appreciate that comment.
I agree.
I was gonna say, like, first off, like you touched on the sunk cost fallacy. Like I think that's the whole thing. It's the whole fucking thing. Like if we were to call a spade, that's what this is about. And again, if I'm gonna call a spade, to me it just reeks of white privilege. Not always, but a lot of times it does, because it's like, all right, cool. Like I don't know what to say. Like, and what I mean by this is I'm not even trying to attack the people who have privilege. What I'm really trying to say is, like, you can afford to be sort of bulletproof against the truth. It's not really the right word, but you know what I'm getting at. And it's like, I can't stop you, but since you're good and comfortable where you're at, I also am probably not gonna try. Because, like whatever, it's harder, right? But when I'm dealing with other people, it's like they really haven't had the chance yet. They really don't know that the earth is old. That really coming to that awareness would be a fucking earth-shattering, mind-blowing, something they really need to think about. And so I'm a little bit more like trying to find the people who haven't had the chance. And that's why I got pissed at kind of us on the atheist side for kind of letting it slide so much. I get we're all trying to go along and get along, but it feels more like it's about trying to be popular and make sure you don't, get an opportunity to, be on the in crowd of content creators. Whereas like me, I'm like, well, I didn't really start on the in crowd, and I don't really need it. So y'all could go ahead and not like me, but I'd rather take the opportunity to speak my mind. And if people don't like me, then they don't like me. But for me, I'm kind of like, what am I really doing if I'm gonna be out here, and then I'm gonna just let people say whatever the fuck, and then I'm gonna just sit there like, it's cool. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, that's what a great idea, Billy. And with Rebecca, like, it's so much deeper than that. When you realize, like, first of all, I didn't even know she had this whole extra channel, which is a little weird that she doesn't mention it, right? Because in our community, she tries to play well, if I could just let go of this young earth creationist thing, I'd be one of the cool kids. I could be one of the smart kids, but, I just can't, like this thing. And it's like, no, you have a whole second channel devoted to actively undermining evolutionary science. So fuck off. It's not a woe is me if only I knew better. Right? And that's kind of my thing is like, she's been educated on this. They all have. And
Sure.
so at some point,
she's so focused on her bias that she's going out of her way to study the intelligent design side of things, right? Like she's been exposed to all this counterfactual information to her worldview, and so now she's making this, I guess foundational evidential approach, right? Because I guess she kind of values that, which I'm like Doug about that. I really don't understand it.
It's dumb.
Right?
It's dumb.
Like, why be an evidentialist if you're a Christian? Just give up.
Because she's not. I'll tell you what it is. It's a word. It's a word game.
About looking cool.
It's a word game. Yeah, exactly.
Rational, right? Like I want to be one of the cool kids. I mean, I want to look smart and rational.
Right.
And all this stuff. And so if I can show this, if I can trot out Sitting for Lies, which I'm convinced, I meant to look this guy up, but I had to get back to work this week, and I've been really behind on things. But I'm pretty sure I know this cat from the flat Earth debate circles. Like I've run into this guy before. Now it might have been over at Politics.
Who, Standing for Truth?
Yes.
Yeah, he's a fucking joke, right? But his presentation.
So you're familiar with him too, then?
Oh yeah, no, I found his channel probably maybe a couple months ago or something when I was really active in our chat, and it was funny because I had just been chatting it up on some stream and he popped up and I thought maybe it'd be like a debate, and I realized quickly, oh shit, these are anti-evolution people. Yes. And I jumped in his chat and they were going ham. Like it reminded me of like I watch Trump rallies, but a lot of times I usually watch them on like right-wing broadcast sites. So I'm into that anyway, right? So because I love to see the chat and troll them and all that type of stuff. And so I actually normally pull up his stuff just to go in here and be like, "What up, fundies?" The same way you drop sup heathens, I'll go in there like, "What up, fundies? What delusion y'all talking about today?" But his presentation is very, I'm very serious and we're very scholarly. You can even see his Standing for Truth logo, I think probably very strategically almost looks like an academic conference logo.
I noticed that too.
Yeah,
I'm trying to figure out what it's...
Yeah.
So am I right? Was he the one? Does he have flat Earth content, or did he abandon that channel?
I'm not sure. Everything I've seen him on is anti-evolution, so I'm not sure about flat Earth. But
if he's the same guy,
to me, they're the same thing. They're the same thing.
Well,
not the same thing. I don't mean it's the same argument of the same thing. I mean as far as what category of intellectual people that they are, Right. It's like you think the Earth is flat. Okay, you think people. They're people who believe things we know aren't true. And this is the thing I think that people really have a hard time with, and I think it's kind of weird. I kind of know there's no God. I don't really. I always say the only thing that makes me hold out any idea with the possibility that there could be a God is that how confidently I believed there was, and I no longer do. So it has nothing to do with the fact that I think there's any reason to think that there could possibly be a God. It's just, it used to be something I was really confident about was true. So I'm trying to holding out for self-preservation, not because, you know what I mean? It's just like, I could be wrong. That's it. It's just a fundamental, I could always be wrong. Like it's I could technically always be wrong, right?
You don't want to fall into the same absolute trap.
But
I'm with you there. Like, if I'm honest with myself and I get the street epistemology test done on me where somebody says, what's your level of confidence in there not being a God? I would actually say my confidence in the proposition that there is no God is hovering around 90%. Like,
hang on a second. Sure. Wesley Curry says you have all chosen to be foe to Jesus Christ. you are destroying yourselves. Do you know Wesley to be a sarcastic person from our community? Because when I see comments like this, I tend to just think that that's a troll.
That name does ring.
Oh
a
no,
bell.
we definitely see him a lot. He's in our community, whoever this is.
I don't know.
But yeah, I don't know. I hope you're trolling, because if you're serious, then that's just funny. But yeah, that's what I mean. There's a lot of low IQ people in this community, so you never know. But yeah, I think that's kind of where I'm at. And so No Name, I think, you know, listen, I like being the bad guy. I don't know if you could tell, but being a bad guy is fun.
No.
You know, starting, you know, I get bored easily. So, you know, starting some shit is just kind of a way to, you know, put a little something on, get a little skin in the game, you know? So can you hear me okay? It said the stream's having connection issues.
Cut out on me.
I cut out. Am I back? Are you back? Am I back? Okay. Hang on.
And you're
frozen. Am I back, or can you hear me? No, it's like a StreamYard thing, or a restream thing, I should say. Hang on a sec. I'll be right back. Yeah. Let me hear if the stream is still okay. Check. Yeah, stream's all right. I'll be right back, y'all. I just got to jump back in with No Name. Wow, that's really weird. Really, really weird. Okay. Let's do this. I don't know what's going on. Start with studio. Wow, Restream's having a real problem. All right, let's see what's going on here. I'm just gonna switch over to the other computer and not worry about it and try to get the Discord going. All right, so let's do that real quick. Let's can this. Oh, here, I'm in. Okay. All right, I'll stay here, and hopefully No Name can join us again. Let's edit my name there. Do wrong computer. All right, here we go, y'all. I'll do that. Camera, microphone, share my screen, put it in full screen for now. All right, something was going on with Restream, y'all. Restream betrayed us. It betrayed us. Yeah, all right, No Name, take your time. It crashed on me too. No worries. Yeah, there was a Restream issue. No worries. Thanks for coming through the chat. Thanks for... Yeah. All right, y'all. I'm going to go ahead and play a little clip while No Name gets situated. And let's remember, he was at 90%. I'm going to ask him about that 90%. I want to have that conversation, actually. I think that was going somewhere interesting. Thanks for bearing with me, y'all. I appreciate y'all bearing with me through the technical issues. As I play this, I'm going to drop 10 million on everybody in both chats, whether you're Pocketlocker86 or Jay Bundy. By the way, y'all, I stream a lot throughout the week. If you're following me on Jay Bundy on YouTube, please follow Pocketlocker86 on YouTube, or subscribe rather. Sorry, I'm getting my platforms mixed. And if you want to see me stream all week, and if you want to get all of my shows, my live streams, my shows, hot program with MyOneBlack Friend, No Good and Evil with Tux, anything like that, just follow me on Twitch, Pocketlocker86 on Twitch, Facebook, Twitter. Those platforms, I put everything in one place. Appreciate y'all. I'm going to go ahead and hit play.
For the endogenous retrovirus handbook, we were the #1 release. So, you know, it's a blessing to see that a lot of people are benefiting and profiting from it. As you know, we have an Evolution Debate Challenge series going on for 2022. I think we've done about close to 30 debates now. And I would say at least 75% of them, the top 3 lines of evidence that the evolutionist debaters bring forth always consist of endogenous retroviruses. So that was one reason especially that I thought, okay, you know, the creationist world, the young earth creationist camp, we need, you know, a single comprehensive response to endogenous retroviruses as evidence for evolution, where everything's kind of compiled into one. And so, you know, before I released it, I did have some feedback from some professional creationists as well, who were quite happy actually with the arguments and responses in it. But basically,
that's a very key expression there, y'all. Professional creationist, because that's effectively what these folks are. No Name, is that you?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear. Oh, yeah, you sound great, actually.
But you sound terrible.
Oh, I do.
Yeah, and I can't hear their video, and I'm hearing like really loud, like fan sound.
Are you listening to the stream?
I don't know.
All right, hang on a second. Hang on. Let's try. It should be 3-4 in. Should be
Much better.
That's better? Yeah.
That horrible, like hissing noise.
Okay. Great.
And the echo's gone. Oh, fantastic. Okay. And you sound better too. How do I sound?
All right, No Name. Thank you so much. All right. Can I? Oh no. Before I'm gonna roll a bit of tape, but before I do, you were saying 90%. Let's have that conversation.
Oh, sure.
Oh.
What about it?
Yeah. So you said.
I don't remember what we were talking about.
You just said if somebody asked you if you believe in God, how confident are you that there isn't a God? You said you'd be at 90%. I just pretend I asked you that. Yeah. Give me. Explain 90 to me.
Oh, right. I think that the 10% is a combination of factors. But it's like you said. I mean, I was like 100% maybe. Yeah, I mean, I guess. I don't know about 100%. But at points in my life, I felt like I was 100% convinced of the existence of God. And that Jesus was real, but there was something just wrong with me because he didn't talk back, right? And I didn't see any of the things that, you know, other people in my family or my community would claim to have. And then I had I finally had my one big experience. And, whoa, what was that?
No, I was just accidentally I hit something.
Oh, okay. So I'm like you. I just don't want to say, yeah, I'm 100%. And also too, I think it's just, you know, due to rearing, right? Like you just kind of get brainwashed a little bit. So I think it just leaves the door cracked open somewhat for the supernatural. When you, you know, so when you have some doubt, it's okay. It's okay to doubt my atheism. I don't have a problem with that. I embrace doubt. I don't wrestle with it. I make out with doubt. I get her all lathered up. We start making out. It gets hot.
Right. So you're good. You're good with it. Like it's fine to not be sure.
Yeah. I'm not an absolutist. I don't need like 100%. You know, when the pre-suppers say dumb shit like, well, how can you know without blah 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 foundation epistemology? And I'm like, I can know fire hot out, and then I can just kind of build from there, right? Like I don't need a supernatural explanation for anything, but at the same time, I can't explain all the supernatural claims that I've been, you know, privy to. But that doesn't mean that that means anything. It's no name can't explain it. It's ineffable. It must mean that God done it, right? Like, no, that would be just as fallacious. Just because I'm a hypercritical thinker who, if I don't believe it, there's probably good reason for it not to be true.
Yeah, and
like Bitcoin, I don't believe in that shit, or NATs.
And I think I'm the same way. I just think that my honest answer would be 99.9, like 99 point a whole lot of nines.
Really?
Really. I'm at a point where I don't think it's reasonable to believe in God anymore.
I mean, that's fair.
Yeah, I actually think
it's not like I'm pushing back on you and going, no, dog.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna be honest with you.
I guess as your pastoral assistant, I must counsel with you, Pastor, about your commitment to doubt, right? Like, you seem like you're struggling with doubt. in that you don't doubt your doubt.
I don't doubt my doubt enough. Yeah, exactly.
And that's the problem. Like, that's like, take your doubt out of the box. You look at it.
Yeah. The problem is that if I cut my doubt down by orders of magnitude, like if I lowered my doubt by like, a trillion fold, so to speak, I'd still doubt God 99.9, and like that's still a lot of nines. Like it's no longer a metric fuck ton of nines, but it's still a lot of nines,
Yeah, it's not one of those times where it's like, okay, look, we got to make up a new name.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
This is a frumpleplex.
Yeah, exactly.
What's a frumpleplex? It's a fuck ton of nine. We ran out of paper in the printer, and we said, well, frumpleplex.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly how I'd put it. So, and yeah, I'm just a little bit less certain than that 2 + 2 = 4. And again, it's mostly just the idea that like I have no reason to believe the God idea came from people. I know that. I know people made gods, not the other way around. I know that nobody's really come up with any sort of novel explanatory God idea independent of these sort of religious traditions. And so to me, it's just like I don't really hold out any possibility for like wisdoms of the ancients or previous divine revelation. I just don't think that. I think we know enough about how life and humanity works to know that that's just not how it works. And I think these people are trying to spin us a tale where we don't live in the world that we live in. And to be honest, like I said, I don't even think that they're honoring the sort of founders and forefathers of their faith. I think if all those people were alive today, they'd be like, y'all are stupid. Why, you should be living the, fully critical lifestyle or whatever. But yeah, let's play some of this.
I mean, just real quick before.
Yeah, no, go ahead. Go ahead. You're good.
Super hypocritical of me, but just say that.
No, you're fine.
But everybody up until about the late 17th century, early 18th century, we're talking about very smart, learned people. Sure, they were mostly rich white men, but for the most part, everybody who is everybody thought the earth was relatively young, so to speak, right? So yeah, you're exactly right. These men were geniuses. These men were just phenomenally well educated. They were when later scientists come along and say shit about standing on the shoulders of giants, believe it or not, these are the men that they're actually talking about. And a bunch of them, if you go back and read their shit, right? Like Isaac Newton, I know Neil deGrasse Tyson, he's like my spirit animal. Right? Like in another life, I want to be Neil deGrasse Tyson. But he really idolizes Newton, right? Like Newton is his number one main man, right? But I mean, Newton was a kook. I mean, he wrote about demonology and weird shit. Like he wrote about, look him up sometime. We don't teach that in the schools, right? We learn about this boring character, you know, who basically invented really difficult math that nobody wants to do, right? But you don't learn about the fact that he believed in, you know, chemistry. Shit, what was that called? You know what I'm talking about, Jay. What was that called?
Alchemy or whatever the
Alchemy. Fuck yeah. Yeah, and we're talking about like some of the smartest men who ever lived for at least a couple of thousand years of recorded human history believed in that
endogenous.
Right.
You know, alchemy and astronomy and all that shit. So yeah, I think if you gave, you know, Newton a smartphone or a tablet or whatever, and you said, hey man, go into this room, here's some food and drinks and stuff, and I want you to just go and crack out on all this knowledge and just take a few days to kind of get your head around it and everything, and then we'll talk. I think when he came out of that room, he wouldn't be like Rebecca. He wouldn't say in the face of the evidence that the earth was 6,000 or 10,000 years old, or that, you know, the biblical account of cosmology is the correct account of cosmology, even though he was an ultra fundamentalist who did all of his science because of his religious quackery.
Right.
Motivation.
And there's a couple other points that you touch on here. So number one is like, I think you're totally right. And here's something that made me think of. Not only would he not be that way, here's what I really think is.
I don't think.
I'm 100% with you. Here's what I think is even the kicker, though. I don't think he'd even talk to these people.
Oh, once you pointed him out, you said, okay, look, okay, here it is. Now, Newton, you've had, you know, a couple of weeks, you know, giving you the internet. You've caught up on YouTube and TikTok and shit.
Right.
Now, it's kind of like one of those tribals react. Oh, man, can you imagine?
Yeah. Give it to me. Keep going with this. I like this.
Let's do a fake Isaac Newton reacts to shit series where we have the premises. We've gone back in time. We brought Isaac Newton forward to the future. And now we're showing him shit on YouTube. He's just sitting in a room. We're like, okay, Isaac, today we're going to show you people do the coolest stunts. And it's just a compilation video of people doing parkour and shit like that, right? And so it's Isaac Newton reacts to stuff. You know, like here's Wet Ass Pussy, or Ben Shapiro, or Jordan Peterson, or Rebecca. God damn, that would be hilarious. So Isaac takes off his headphones at the end of watching a Bread of Life episode where a bunch of learned people are trying to educate her about evolutionary biology. And he takes off the headset and he goes, excuse me, I've been listening to this strumpet for hours now. And even I know, after 2 weeks, that this is complete rubbish. This is bullshit, as the kids call it these days. And therefore, I must say that this woman is Looney Tunes.
Yeah, it's a game changer. And I think something that gets at is the exposure level is so different. Like sometimes. And again, you know, I think as we all get older, right, and those of us that stay in relationship with our families, we're always trying to, you know, I think trying to verbalize those relationships as you mature. So, like, I'm trying to work on, you know, always, like, relating better to my family, explaining how I grew up, right? But one of the things is, I know I'm very different than my family, but I think a lot of it I can make easier for them to understand by talking about exposure, right? That I live in a different world. I went, you know, part of the reason I'm an atheist is like, well, look, I went to Penn State, and the first day I got to campus, like the very first friend I made who happened to be my best friend the whole time I was in college, was an atheist.
Oh, wow. That's awesome.
Yeah, it was great. But he was a super guy.
Funny story, and this isn't like an Alabama, you know, cliche, or it's an Alabama cliche for a reason. My first day on campus at the University of Alabama, I'm walking across the quad, and I see this leggy blonde walking at me, right? And now, His first day, I mean, it's like orientation.
yeah, no, I remember that feeling. Yeah, yeah. And your just mind is blown. Like, what the fuck is going on?
Well, I grew up in this town, right? But I moved away when I was a kid. But when I came back, I mean, it was not. It was the same. This was still, you know, the mid '90s. It was like '95, right? And it's hotter than a motherfucker, right? Because it's like August, you know, late August. And she's wearing these, like, high-rise shorts. Man, a lot of legs for days. And she is come walking at me. Like, it's a walk with intent. And she's got a big old smile on her face. And I'm just Twitter-pated. I'm just like, God damn, right? So I'm just braced. I plant myself firmly and, you know, to, I don't know, whatever. Right? Like, this bitch looks like she's just gonna jump into my arms. So I'm prepared for whatever's coming next. Obviously it's a case of mistaken identity, but I'm going to benefit from it.
Sure. And I'm gonna go with it. If I'm supposed to be the boyfriend right now, I'm going straight there.
Exactly. I will benefit from a case of mistaken identity. I'm a firm believer that luck is just where preparation meets opportunity.
Yeah, there you go.
And that is literally the difference between me and somebody else in most situations. That I may be a little prepared for it, and I try to put myself in a position where I can take advantage of it. But, so she's, like I said, this tall, leggy blonde running up at me with a big old smile on her face. And like I said, my instincts are kicking in. She is opening up for, like, an embrace.
Right.
I'm literally seconds away from getting like, and she is a good bit taller than me. I think at the time I'm like, I don't know, I was 17 and I hadn't reached my full 5'8" at the time, and she was probably 5'10", and I'm just like, I mean, things are happening downstairs. I mean, I'm telling you, like the reptilian.
Oh yeah. Oh, hang on. Shameless plug. Before we wrap the broadcast, I'm gonna reveal why this is the show that should have never happened. If you think that we endured technical difficulties, if you think we've been working hard behind the scenes and we were a couple hours late, you have no idea. That's just the beginning of why this show should have never happened. But all right, back on track. Just a plug to stick with us, folks.
This show is not safe, y'all.
No.
Like I said, I'm reliving this experience right now. It's making me feel a little cringy and awkward. So anyway, like I said, beautiful gal, jumps, like bounds across the quad like a leggy fawn or something, right into my arms. And I just plant firmly to, you know, brace myself. And full on, you know, body almost like a damn tackle. So I have got a handful of warm girl body. Only for her to start talking. And I immediately realize who she is. She is my first cousin.
Caterpillar said she feels like she's interrupting.
Oh, hey, Caterpillar. No, you just have to tell me when to shut up.
No, you're good. You're good.
But yeah, so I hadn't seen her since she was maybe 11, 12 years old.
Oh, you know? Really?
Right.
Wow.
So somehow she recognized me, even though at the time I looked like Jesus, right? Like I had long hair, I had a beard. You know, I didn't look, I don't think anything like I looked when I was 12.
Sure.
Yeah. But somehow she recognized me and, but, you know, didn't think to introduce herself or I guess feel the need to introduce herself. So I just see this, you know, hot gal who is just giving out free hugs today, apparently. That's how my brain was working.
Right.
Shit. I was just
right. What? How did that end up? Did you guys hang out after that or what?
Oh yeah, but yeah. She was my first cousin. Yeah, we hung out. until she moved back to Houston.
Got you.
Well,
That's a great fucking story.
Yeah. We didn't get to hang out much my sophomore year because I was out of the country a lot. I was in this like a pilot program for the Department of Defense, where the plan was to kind of lure you into becoming a teacher, like a contractor for the DoD.
Gotcha.
Where you go and work for the Department of Defense in a contractor capacity for the, military or wherever they need you, teaching, the children of U.S. soldiers or
right,
whatever. And so I spent a semester doing that, and that was a lot of fun. I really just did it to get college credit and to travel for free. But I did have to ride in some uncomfortable, what's that big car? The C-10, I think is what it's called.
Oh, like the big cargo truck that they just pile people in?
It's a plane.
Oh,
But
it's a plane.
You can drive trucks and tanks and shit.
I see what you're saying. I got yeah.
So I had to fly in one of those one time on a crate.
Jesus.
That was a terrifying experience, but it'll get you over your fear of flying.
I guess so. Yeah, you're like, oh, this coach sitting in a chair with a seatbelt on. This is easy.
A little turbulence in a chair, in a company chair, is so much better than a lot of turbulence on a crate.
I was fortunate enough that I got a couple of flying lessons when I was younger. I didn't have the vision, but I think that helped a lot. I'm gonna play this clip. So I said I'll get through 5 minutes of this clip. I may have been more accurate. I may have been giving myself credit because I'm only 3 minutes in. Yeah.
It's retroviruses.
All right, but what we're looking for, folks, is the difference here is that these people understand. That's the thing. They've been exposed, they understand this stuff, and now they are willfully, actively, and here's the key thing, strategically trying to miseducate people, right?
Yeah, they're hiding their knowledge, they're suppressing their knowledge in their unrighteousness, of doubt, right? Like in the church of the Flying Man,
right?
It is the greatest of blasphemies. To not doubt, like
right,
ultimately,
right, yes, exactly.
You just gotta doubt,
right? Yeah, you just gotta doubt.
Ultimately,
you just gotta doubt.
I'm a
just gotta doubt, exactly.
Doubter, like I'm just, So, but you gotta embrace the doubt.
Exactly.
Don't wrestle with it. Don't struggle with it.
That's right. Embrace the doubt. All right, here we go.
You do wrestle with it cheap, like grab it by the gonads, because I hear that's a thing.
Back are these small pieces of DNA
argument from
that are found within the genomes of many kinds of creatures, especially in invertebrates, and they resemble viral genetic material, right? And they or our so-called closest cousin.
Here, so you see what I'm saying? They're found in primates, so-called our closest cousins.
Oh, yeah.
So you know the evidence.
The editorialization.
Yeah, that, but also it's like, so you know the story. So you get it, right? You know it then, right?
Yeah.
The chimpanzee. So they're found, these viral genetic sequences are found in corresponding locations.
There you go.
In the genomes of humans and chimpanzees.
Great job.
And when they say these sequences follow
at the expense of sounding like Nostradamus, right? Because I do not claim prophetic power. I do not.
Right.
But I'm going to make a prediction. I'm going to offer a prediction for standing for truth's hypothesis. Is that it fits his model better because endogenous retroviruses are simply evidence that the creator used the same, basic toolkit, right? It's science.
Yes, the lazy creator theory. Yes,
right, look,
he did it like science does it.
It's not like Chrysler invented the screw,
right?
I mean, but nuts and bolts are used in Fords and Chevys and Chryslers and Cadillacs.
Right.
So that's just evidence I bet this is my again. I am not.
Yeah.
Y'all.
Yeah.
I did not. My mom says I've got the Shining. She says I've got it. I don't agree. I don't think that that's a thing. But I'm in my powers of doubt. They're feeling me right now, Jay. I can Shabala Honda. I'm feeling the spirit of doubt right now, Jay. The spirit speaking in tongues through me, Jay, and it's telling me, Jay, that Shabala Honda, the Lord of doubt, is telling me right now that Vanity Fruit is going to say that this is evidence of a common designer. Voila. Like
evidence of a common designer. Wow.
This is basically like if you're not familiar, then do yourself a treat and just look up. Not you, Jay. I'm sure you're familiar with it, but YouTube viewers, if you're not familiar with Kent Hovind or Dr. Dino, look him up.
All right, so listen, I just decided something. I want to make an evolution education channel. I want to make an evolution education channel called Darwin's Law, right? But we should make an anti-evolution replay channel and call it Evidence of Common Designer. Or something like that.
Yeah.
And make it like a total parody site. And just see if we can get the legit fundies to like start to like love it. And we could just play we'll play like this stream and like we'll play a bunch of our favorite fundy channels on it 24/7.
What about Jay? Are you sitting down?
I'm holding on to my armrest.
Stand up and then sit down again. Because you're gonna need to when I hit you with Black Darwin.
Black Darwin. There it is.
That's got to be a channel, and you know how the kids.
All the
hipsters these days.
It could be like mock stuff for
like
children.
No, do like Hamilton.
Oh, with like the raps and stuff.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You can work in
yeah. Oh, I like this. Oh, I like this. I like where this is going.
Talk to your cousin, man. His shit's fire too.
Yeah. All right.
Black Darwin, and do it like, you're still laying down Darwinist principles and evolutionary.
Do you think?
But in like a gangster kind of.
Do you think I could get my cousin to take my class? Do you think I could get my cousin to take my class just so he could like make the raps better?
Yes. Or at least watch a video.
Yeah. So I can get him some super legit like material to rap about.
Yeah. He's got to have some rhyme. I mean some material for his rhyme.
Yeah.
And I mean, like I said, even if it's just.
I'm feeling this. This is good.
I think Black
All right,
Darwin.
look. We're gonna talk about this more in the after party. This is a good one. This is a good one. Let's put this.
Yeah.
Man,
when the spirit is down,
no, I'm feeling it. Actually, and can you make a note for me so that we remember to get to it?
Oh yeah. I'll put
appreciate it. Yeah. Put it in our Discord actually. That'd be great.
And out in the YouTube and the Twitch universe.
Hashtag Black Darwin.
Black Darwin.
Also, we're gonna do hashtags in our chat. Like I think what we'll do is, so I'm trying to do systems where like when we ask for participation from chat, what we do is we normally will give like a minute or two. Let's go with like 2 just to give our people more time, especially early on. But like if somebody says hashtag something and then people put it in the chat, it's like I'll give everybody in chat a stack for everybody that puts it in, and then I'll give each person that puts the message in 10 times that. It sounds complicated, but it's not. Let's say let's say we do hashtag Black Darwin, and then in the next 2 minutes, like 5 people put it in the chat. Then each one of them will get 500,000, and then I'll drop 5 stacks on the whole chat, right? So it's like a community multiplier.
Yeah.
You see what I'm, so it's pretty simple.
But the ones who actively.
Yeah, if you actively put it in, then yeah, that's how you get the 10 times. Yeah, so it's it's like fair, and there's a community bonus.
Just start off at like a stack, right? Like 10.
Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah.
10 grand for sharing sharing the hashtag, and then the multiplier.
Yeah.
Yeah, then do the multiplier.
So I give the stack to everybody, and then
not 500. He's bad at the math. That's why he became an evolutionary biologist.
Oh no! I did what I said. The reason it's 500 is because there was 5 people. So it just makes it easy. So here's the thing, here's the thought process. It's pretty easy. Normally, when you ask for feedback, and I see this a lot of times on stream, right? Like, let's say I say, "Does it sound okay?" Right? And then like one person will say like, "Yeah, it sounds fine," right? Well, then a lot of people won't be like, "Oh, I won't say anything now because somebody else already said it sounds fine," right?
Yeah.
What you'd rather is 5 people say it sounds fine.
I want 100 people.
You want 100 people, right? Exactly.
Yeah.
So instead of just being like, "Oh, well, if I ask for feedback and somebody gives me feedback, I'll give everybody in chat a stack." I'm like, I'll give everybody in chat a stack for every person that gives me the feedback. And then every person that actually gives me the feedback, I'll give them 10 times as much, and I'll give that a multiplier for every person that gives me the feedback.
That's the part I was there was an underpants no math equation.
Sorry. Yeah. So it's if it's one person, if one person gives me feedback, it's like I'll drop the stack on everybody, and that person will get 100,000. But if 3 people, it'll be 3 stacks. Pope for Winfrey. That's Pope for Winfrey math. It's the Pope for Winfrey. Matter of fact, I'll put the.
You ain't gotta say nothing.
I'll put the formulas on the page. We'll put the formulas on the page so everybody will see all the Pope for Winfrey math, and they'll know. All right, that's a great idea though, because actually I'm trying to make the scale standard between everything we do. So I'll just put it up on a site, and then it'll be easy as pie. Everybody will know. All right, man. I'm gonna go ahead and play this. Thank you so much, No Name.
No problem.
Load into nested hierarchical patterns in terms of their distribution. What that means is we would share more of these sequences with the chimpanzee than we do with, a more, what the evolutionists would say, distant common ancestor, like an old world monkey or a lemur. So there's this hierarchical distribution where we share more with the chimpanzee than we do with the gorilla, than we do with the orangutan. And the further we go down the line, we're going to share less with, a dog or another form of life. So the evolutionists believe that these shared endogenous retroviral-like sequences that form nested hierarchical patterns are good evidence for common descent, because they'll say the reason why we share these viral genetic sequences is because we inherited them from a common ancestor. And of course, it goes a lot deeper than that as well. But for sake of time, I'll call it quits there on that question.
Okay.
Well, he actually did. Just to give him credit, he did a decent job of steel manning. He did editorialize somewhat, but that's to be expected, right?
Right.
But he did a halfway decent job, I guess, of steel manning the argument-free RVs.
Yeah, and they're not like. That's what I mean. Like they're good. Like this is what I'm saying. Like, I had a student right this semester who never came to class. Not once. Like, we had 16 students who were supposed to have 17, and one of them never showed up. Or whatever. Maybe we were supposed to have 16 and we had 15. Like, and again, this is like, I'm not trying to like brag, but this is like a senior seminar, like it's your capstone. You have to write like a capstone undergraduate thesis at the end of this class. It's like It's like a
Yeah,
science.
yeah,
It's like a
yeah.
residential honors college at a major university. Like this is like you're.
They didn't like drop at or
Yeah,
anything like
that's
that.
what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Our students don't do this. This is weird. Like this is really, really weird. Really, really weird.
Like, I mean, like, not to get all sleuthy and shit.
No, we emailed them and reached out. We're like, what's going on? We have no idea. But this is what I'm saying. So at the end of the thing, if that student fails the class, you're like, okay, yeah, okay, pretty much you weren't there, right? This kid is like, he was there every class. You know, he wrote like the great papers. He always piped up and answered all the questions, and he did all the reading, and he gave a great presentation on molecular mechanism. You know, he's like a good student, right? And then at the end,
what happened?
Yeah, what happened? That's what I'm saying. Because at the end of the day, he's still gonna right. He's gonna write this whole thing, and then he's gonna tell me that evolution's not real somehow. He's gonna explain it all, and I'm more interested in listening than I was before.
Wait. So that guy, the one that stopped coming to class, he turned out to be a young.
Oh no, sorry. I'm saying Donnie is not that student. Donnie's the really good student. Donnie for standing for truth. No, that student didn't turn out to be. They never showed up. Literally, I never saw them. I'm saying rather than being a student who never showed up, and therefore it's easy to understand why they don't know a goddamn thing. No, I wasn't clear. It's not you. Donnie here is the kid who showed up every day for class, handed in all his work, did the great presentation, knows all the material, can cite all the authors, right? You think he's one of your best students. And then you just start talking to him, and he's going, well, yeah. You know, again, like you said, if they were in my class, it'd just be so interesting. Now, to be honest, I have my suspicion that Donnie would do a lot better than Rebecca, and the reason being he would find some sort of, I don't know, but if they both were honest about their opinions, they'd both fail easily. I mean, because they're just wrong. I mean, it's just
like, okay, so like, what about your class in particular would clash with standing for? I mean,
that's a great question. So yeah, I guess I just assume like, oh, I'm in evolutionary biology, so any evolutionary biology class. But no, my class,
like Steel Manning him.
Sure.
Right. If he comes at you with the lazy, creator argument, right? The lazy creator hypothesis.
Right.
Says, okay. In addition to that, I've also plugged in all these other variables, and now I have a model that I can test out and make predictions with.
Right.
That's still like using the mechanisms that you're teaching him about evolutionary biology, all the mechanisms and stuff. But he can take those principles and say, well, yeah, that's the evidence, that's the data. I'm just interpreting it differently. I'm saying that these are evidences of a common creator or a common designer, not common descent, right? So I understand philosophically it would clash with the philosophy behind your class, but what specifically about your class would make it an impediment? The philosophy of ID an impediment to passing? Like, could somebody not just regurgitate the information and polish it up and pass it off as I did the work, I showed you the data, this is an argument for intelligent design? So, like, why would that necessarily fail them?
Yeah, hang on a sec. I'm trying to get used to this like new browser that I'm using. I just started using Brave, and I like don't know how to not look like a boomer when I use it. I'm like, I swear I use computers for a living. I know how to work a computer. Hang on a sec. Let's go with Google.
This is not Google. Why is this not Google?
Why is this not Google? Why is your Google not Google?
Because it doesn't steal all your information and sell it to anyone who wants.
Yeah, exactly. Which is why I started using it. But then I pulled the boomer out, and I'm like, but look, I gotta just Google real quick because I gotta keep it moving. But yeah, I'm lucky enough that I teach with this guy, Rob Pennock. He wrote the Tower of Babel book. You guys should check this out. He's working on a new book, which I think is actually called Darwin's Law. But Rob happens to be a philosopher of science, and he testified as the expert witness in the Kitzmiller versus Dover trial. And so he can lay claim to being the guy who actually was the expert scientific witness to in a trial to establish that intelligent design creationism isn't science. And so I'm in a fortunate position where I can say that, you know, I'm not just a regular evolutionary biologist that teaches standard evolutionary biology, whatever that would even mean. But our class is also specifically geared towards understanding the philosophy of science behind evolutionary law and understanding that it is a law-like process. And it really applies to any evolving system. And certainly life on Earth is the most charismatic example of an evolving system, but it's really only one evolving system. Rob, like me, is an expert in digital evolution, so we make evolution happen in computers all the time, right? And you can have real evolution in a computer, right? Because you can have a population of organisms that can self-replicate, therefore there's inheritance. They can mutate and, you know, compete for limited resources, so you have natural selection. What did I, that's all of them. That's it. Inheritance, variation, and selection. That's all you need. So, and time. You can do many generations really, really quickly. So, you know, like in my...
I like it how creationists always say, and you know, they always need billions and billions of years.
Like, no, we don't. Yeah.
Billions and billions of years to make things happen. That's what evolution is.
Yeah. So I guess so I feel really lucky about that, and you know and what we spend usually the first portion of the course doing is literally going through the sort of case for creationism and sort of showing point by point. Yeah. It's like the whole class. So at the end of the semester, my students write like, I don't know, what do they write, like 15 to 20 page papers, and a lot of them end up writing, I hate to say it, but it's like their first counter-apologetics paper. They write papers on like why creationism is wrong and like why it's not science. They don't have to. They get to choose whatever they want to write about, but a lot of them do because they've taken this class with Rob, and now they're having these conversations with their peers or their friends or their church groups. And so you know, we don't prod them because they're allowed to write about any topic we cover during the course. So so a lot of them do.
You can't help it. If you pick that class, right? There, you said it yourself, there were 15 people in that class.
Right.
You picked that class because, you know, you probably read that book or you shared that philosophy to begin with.
They're there because they're interested in.
So there's going to be some selection bias.
Yeah,
you know,
but a lot of them wrote about, you know.
Saying, like, so imagine standing for truth shows up to your class.
Right. So this is So I was trying to. Yeah, you're right. I was trying to I was trying to answer your question. So the problem is, it's just not scientific, and that's the thing is not only would, you know, myself or Rob, but any of our students would be very capable at explaining to him there is no scientific theory of creationism because it's by definition not testable. So there is no evidence produced by a naturalistic mechanism that could support a supernatural hypothesis. It is
Just you can't make a model.
It's a square circle. It's literally trying to square a circle.
Yeah, exactly.
You are literally trying to square a circle.
They preach. So this is what they do. They know they're preaching pseudoscience.
Right. Pseudoscience. Absolutely.
Yeah. And so they've created, and I guess as a reaction to us calling them out for this for years, they've just called science pseudoscience, right? And then they use a lot of verbiage to denigrate science and turn it into scientism.
Right. There you go. Yeah.
What evolutionists teach And then they say things like,
and of course, like all conservatives, it's a fucking projection, right? And they're the ones who do the scientism by trying to get all sciencey and evidential and strategic philosophy and systematic rationality, right?
It's so hypocritical because they do this song and dance where they dress it up. They try to dress up their beliefs as science. And then they try to pull the rug out from under, mainstream science, like, or secular science or whatever you want to call it. And then they want to lower it to their level. They want to drop it down to their level and call it presuppositionalist, faith-based, irrational positions, just like a religion. Right, and it's
yes, they do that too, right? Then they do they equivocate on both sides. We're doing evolution and science over here. You guys are doing religion over here.
And then they make these echo chamber publications where they whine and cry about how the mainstream media won't talk about their.
Well, look, no name, you are helping me. I need this because I'm trying to make the case to my advisors that they should let me stream teaching, and I'm also going to be streaming, like, I do a lot of these coding streams, right? And I'm going to be streaming when I work on papers. I got a manuscript I got to submit for publication. I want to show people what it's really like. Now, look, I'm telling people right now, you're signing up for some of the boringest streams ever. But don't worry, eventually we'll make little bite-sized videos, right? That will make cool videos. The video will be cool, put the videos up, right? But it's like,
but you get to see the sausage being made.
You get to see the sausage being made. But my point is I want people to see the real work it takes when you don't take the shortcuts. And I got to be honest with you. It's fun, but you got to be up for it. Like, I'll give you an example. Like, I spent, the last 10 years of my life trying to survive grad school and write a fucking dissertation, right? And I still, like many, you guys in our community actually know a lot more, way more scholars and way more about scholarship than I did when I was a layman.
And Jay, not to make light of your academic achievements and efforts.
Sure.
Do you ever look back at the last 10 years and think to yourself, why didn't I just become an Instagram thought or a TikTok superstar or a YouTube? I could have been unboxing shit.
Yeah. You know what? Honestly, I think
I question all my life decisions sometimes.
I do, but I'm so glad I didn't. And I feel like I'm getting towards that place of getting to do my own version, my own way, and it's one of those things where you go, I wasn't trying to like mastermind something, but I'm happy that what I got, I came by the long way, like. And I still try to keep that mentality, like me and my advisor, like we stay focused, right? Like right now I'm training to become a faculty member. So I'm not sitting there like, oh, I'm so great. I've accomplished so much. I have 2 PhDs. I'm like, no, I just graduated. I just finished school. Nobody knows who the fuck I am. I've basically accomplished nothing. And I've got my whole career in front of me and I'm trying to get a tenure track job like right away. So I've got like 0 seconds to waste.
Jay, I'm from a state where if you graduate community college,
you done made it.
you survived. Like you didn't get knocked up.
Right.
You didn't get hooked on anything like meth or anything.
Right.
You made it. You got. You get. They give you a trailer.
Yeah, right. You get some shit for that. You get some real shit for that.
You meet a double PhD and shit down here, and we're all like, "You sure do talk good. You talk like one of them fellers."
Yeah.
Like you talk on the Fox News.
Yeah, no, believe it or not, in my world, fucking literally everybody has a PhD and has done far more than I have.
Yeah, because all the nerds you've been hanging out with.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, it's like me. For years, my peer group was this really weird peer group, but my peer group was mostly engineers, right? They were like,
Right.
there were a bunch of dudes that I hung out with and played D&D with and Magic with in high school, or met in college, or later on, met as adults. And so I just took it for granted that everybody knew, like a dozen at minimum, like at least a dozen engineers, right? Like if you need to call somebody, like I just realized one day that, I have in my phone, I have like 11 or 12 men who, their combined salary is in the millions, and they all know a lot of really technical shit, and they're engineers, and so I'm like, that is a pretty valuable resource to have.
Right.
But all these fools cheat at Dungeons and Dragons and Magic the Gathering. Engineers cheat. People overestimate the moral fiber of engineers. And I am here, folks, to tell you that engineers are a vile, dirty, nasty, just
all right. So wait. This gets me thinking about this, right? So this resource thing, right? So here's
Think about how many fucking biologists and shit you know.
Yeah, it's crazy.
If you had to write a book where they were like, Jay, we need you to interview the blah 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 in the field of blah blah blah, like the cutting edge people.
Right.
You're like, well, shit, I got I'm my PhD advisor.
Right.
I got this dude who I worked for. I got this dude who I interned.
Yeah, dude, that's why it's weird. That's why, like, honestly, I haven't wanted to get into this stuff because it feels almost like unfair. But at the same time, it's like, well, I guess that's...
You fucking earned it 10 fucking years of your life.
I know. And I appreciate that. It's just...
You deserve a Rocky montage where he's running up
right. Like I fucking made that.
And then at the end, you got your cap and gown and your fucking...
Yeah. You know what? That's the other thing is I didn't graduate. Because of the pandemic, I didn't want to walk.
Oh, that sucks so bad.
Yeah. So I still haven't had that, like, the thing. That's why I had to buy my robe. I had the rocker. I forgot to put my robe on. I knew during the entrance, I was like, I forgot something's missing. I forgot to put my robe on.
Your priestly vestments.
My priestly vestments.
Shame on you.
Shame on me.
Sacrilegious.
You see what that week away does with Purple Haze here, man. You forget the whole routine.
You take off for a week and everything just
come back. I don't even recognize the damn channel. All right. So there we go. There we go. That's so yeah, that's why I had to get my threads, man. All right, but look, so that's the real problem here, is that in all seriousness, okay, so here's my thing, right? Here's the hard part. I kind of think that part of my thing. Sorry, hang on a sec. Sorry, I hit that accidentally. When I think about our community, here's one of the things I've noticed, right? We love our scholars and we love our academics, right? But
we love titties and beers.
We love titties and beers. There's not a lot of, you don't see a lot of biologists. Like, I think the person probably closest to my field academically would be, especially because I do have a master's in biological anthropology. And my background is really thinking about sexual selection, especially in humans. So it would probably be...
You're a pervert.
Because I'm a pervert. Definitely because I wanted to be a dating coach. Because literally because I'm a pervert. But it would be Gutsick Gibbon, probably.
Yeah, Erica's cool.
Yeah, it'd be Gutsick Gibbon. And to be honest...
Her intro is a little annoying in my opinion. Am I the only one that feels
No, I love it. It's it's deep.
Like,
No.
I know after the first, like, when I like binge.
You know what it is?
Sometimes.
When you when you're a regular viewer of something like that, you got to skip that stuff. A lot of that stuff, even my stuff. When you watch Late-Night Counter-Apologetics, you should skip the first hour. Like you just right because it's just fun fluff stuff that after a while, if you just want to get to the meat of something, you're not gonna wanna do that. But you know what I'm saying? But it'd be like, but for me, it'd be like if I went to see a wrestling show and they skipped the entrance. Oh, you've seen this wrestler's entrance. You've seen him do the song and dance a million times. Like, we would riot. Now, if you're not a wrestling fan, the first time you watch wrestling, you're like, this is the dumbest shit ever. Why don't they just come back from commercial with them in the ring and start fighting, right? But if you get the culture, you know, so yeah, just skip it. But no, her intro.
I was raised as a fundamentalist WWF fan.
So you understand then, yeah, you can't skip that stuff.
The pageantry, man, like
the pageantry,
to me, I guess I agree with that. I do 100%. I do.
No, but it's a lot of watch time, and I think you're in a unique case because I know you personally. You have you're a gazillion notifications. You've got backlogs and backlogs and backlogs of alerts and content. So I'm saying literally.
So as much as I bloviate, I'm like, man, cut to the motherfucking
yeah.
chase.
That's what I was gonna say. Like I think
when it comes to viewing things, I'm just like, I ain't got time for no 6-minute intro.
Yeah, I think, and I would say, listen, there's no right answer, and I actually think the more and more I do this, and the more and more I study people who do this and really think about it, I think everybody just has to do what works for them. Because the hardest thing it is to do is to just keep making content and sustain it. So whatever works for you, do that, and then just figure out how to get better at it, and then always just take ideas from different people and see if something new works for you.
There's nothing wrong with like a hybrid approach. Like everybody thinks I'm Mr. Debbie Downer, and I'm like, oh no,
no. I know you're not.
I'm looking at it more like. I can see what the advantages of both, right? Like, okay, so for your live streams, the advantage of a long, kind of rambling introduction is that it gives people who got the notification late time to show up, or people who get the notification while they're watching somebody else's show,
right?
Who clicks on it later thinking, well, I'll catch up, and they jump in and they're like, you're an hour in, right? And they're like, oh, cool, you're live. But for people who start kind of rambling in and there's like 4 people in the audience, right? And you don't want to just start doing
right.
Like wait until the crowd, 5
yes. Because I've seen people do it on Instagram.
Try to base gauge your audience interaction.
Yeah.
I fucked up that sentence.
And that's what I'm saying. That's why I said that's why I was saying it's can you hear me?
Oh no, I'm sorry. Were you talking?
Yeah, can you hear me?
You were real low.
Okay. Yeah, can you hear me though?
Yeah.
All right. I was just saying that for me it's like, sorry, I probably was low. I'm not talking right into the microphone like I should be. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
For me, like, there's no right or wrong answer, and part of that is because it totally depends. So, but I agree with you. So, like, I've been watching a lot of stuff from like big time YouTube content creators, and a lot of what I'm learning is like the algorithm for a lot of communities it's all about seconds, and so literally they all insist you should cut out your intro altogether. A lot of the big channels I watch, it's like when their video starts, it's like, hey, it's so-and-so, and today, and on today's show, boom. And if they've got even any of that like and subscribe type of stuff, they don't even waste time saying it. It's just something that might pop up with like a little thing, and it'll be like a little thing, and it'll go ding, and it'll be a little thing in the bottom that says click the bell or whatever.
They're some of my favorite content creators. No joke. Now, again, this isn't live streams.
Right.
It's different.
It's different. That's what I'm saying. That's exactly my point. It's different.
But for created content, they'll have a very brief introduction. These are my favorites, right?
Right.
They'll do a very brief introduction. They won't even do the like and subscribe.
Right.
Or if they do, they'll make
at the end,
a
maybe
very tongue-in-cheek nod to it that's very glib and quick.
Right.
And then, about midway through, like I watch a lot of 30-minute plus long content.
Right.
About midway through, they'll stop and do a brief. Sometimes they'll do like this has promoted. It'll say at the beginning this.
Yeah, and then they'll have the little ad in the middle. Yeah,
They'll do a
exactly.
little ad in the middle. It'll be like a minute. Little segue. The better ones are good at doing a segue.
Yeah, or they've built their own little commercial for the product, right? That's what I would do. Yeah, making your own little commercial for it. Yeah.
And so it would it's just there's a little bit of a formula to it, but I find that formula works well for me.
Yeah, absolutely, 100%.
That doesn't necessarily mean it's like the one and only formula.
Right, and then I was gonna say a lot of it's different cultures of different content creators. So if I was gonna when I do tutorials and stuff, they'll be that way. Right, like if I get into like serious about making tutorials, they'll be polished, clean, boom, boom, right? But and then another thing is like for me, I know what a lot of at least the viewers that I get feedback from like is like I want this and a lot of my live shows on this channel, especially the Jay Bundy channel, to be like the variety show feel. So they're deliberately periods of time that are meant to not be serious content, right? And then when I'm streaming, that's just, you're going to get a mix. Some of the content might be great, but I'm finding more and more. But that's, anyway, we don't have to keep going about it. But I was just agreeing with you and saying that, I think for the most part, people got to get rid of that. But in Erica's case, with her montage, it tells such a story that I love so much that I actually watch it every time. I pick out a new particular animation or detail, or I'll recognize a particular step that she got in there. And as like I said, somebody who like got drilled on a lot of the same stuff as her in grad school, it's like there's payoff there that I never imagined I'd see on YouTube. So when I see her, I'm just like, girl, anthro power. I'm hardcore anthro crushing on her. And then I'm like, no name. If you just want the content, skip it. Just skip it. Just skip it and let it be.
Like, I love her content. Give her the views.
Exactly. You just want to give her the views.
I ain't gonna lie. I skipped it about like, I don't know, around the 4 minute mark or so. And that's what I was gonna watch.
And if people ever want to do that with my stuff, I get it. I totally get it. We appreciate your eyeballs, however long you watch or however you get through it. Yeah. So all right. So that would be the problem with these guys, and that's what I'm saying. It's willful. It's willful. It's not that they don't get it. It's that they are very strategically missing it and misrepresenting science fundamentally.
Yeah.
Oh, and so, hang on. Here's where I think our community is contributing to the problem. I think part of the problem is we don't have a lot of scientists, especially not a lot of evolutionary biologists. And I think the reason is because we would knock down the legitimacy of this a peg, right? Because a lot of this stuff would just be non-starters. What do you mean? Like, you know what I mean? Like that's like one of the best ways to get my colleagues falling out of their chairs is being like, you're not going to believe it. On my channel, like our friend Antangelo called in and he wanted to go full Shroud of Turin. It's like, what? Like, it's like saying somebody wanted to call my channel and wanted to debate me about Ghost. You know what I mean? Like they're just like.
I feel like you're letting us down. You should be proselytizing more to your coworkers and colleagues and get them to come watch the show. And I got Rodrigo to call in this week during a live stream to help me. He actually helped me work out a lot of the stuff to get Restream going on my other computer. Which night was that?
It was during my like 2 or 3 day marathon. Yeah, it was so weird actually because
I thought I caught all your shows last week.
It was a crazy hours. It was like in the middle of the afternoon, I think. He was in lab. He was in lab and like my colleagues got on and were talking to me and they tried to like talk to me about some work stuff. And I didn't mind like talking about work stuff on the fact while I was live, I was just like, I hadn't slept. And I was like, I can't think right now. Like, they were asking me about my schedule. I was like, schedule. I was like, I can't. Like, my brain just can't right now. Like, it was really funny.
Been up for?
It was like, I think it was like day 2 or something.
Wow.
I was up for like 2 or 3 days.
Yeah.
To be honest.
No. Like I said, I was in the
Yeah, it was. It was wild. It was fun though. It was fun though.
We had a couple of nights of bad weather where my power got knocked out for a couple hours, and I was like, well, fuck it. Even if the power comes back on, by the time it does, it's going to be like 6 in the morning, and I'm sure my internet won't be doing a damn thing by then.
Right.
Because it's all on the the grid, the Wi-Fi and shit. But we had one night where the storm was so bad you couldn't even get fucking data, right? Like it was like the little 4-bar graph thing icon. It was not even there. It was like no network found. Like, damn, I live in the swamp, y'all.
Yeah, I think that's actually, the more and more I think about it. So it'd be good if you got like I said, the Ethernet cable if you can. But yeah, a lot of times it might be. I think it'll make a bigger difference probably than you realize. It's even a lot of things, even in the studio. If you were here, there's very few wireless things in the studio. Because everything's just faster cabled.
Oh
yeah.
I am not a YouTube personality.
Yeah.
From this standpoint, I'm a comment section.
guy. So, but here's the thing I was gonna say, right? So I think part of what our community does, though, is in our own weird way, and it's fine because I've benefited from so much of it. We kind of legitimize philosophy in our own weird way.
Yeah.
And I feel like a lot of times, even the pushback I'm going to get from other atheists is like, well, I don't know how to dance the dance with you guys philosophically. I'm starting to try to understand the terms, which is why it's a little bit frustrating when people seem unwilling to explain things to me, because I'm genuinely not trying to be obtuse. It's like I haven't, I've only started listening in the last year or 2 or whatever. So, I'm barely versed in a lot of the.
What I would recommend you do, Jay,
the Hogwarts language.
Is find the Hogwarts language is Wingardium Leviosa. I've been saying it wrong.
You see my title today: Dualistic Doctoral Dualism.
Oh my God! I heard somebody else use that theology on a stream.
Yeah, me too. I almost started crying.
And I died. I was like, somebody just fucking made that word up not 2 weeks ago. And here we got some other motherfucker running around using it like it's a real goddamn word and acting like you didn't understand what he means by it. And you're like, what?
That's what. But even when you look, right, I hate to say this, like Bart Ehrman, I have my quibbles with the man, but I will say I think he's at least immersed in a professional job at a very regular old fashioned good old American public university, right?
He's a boomer, man. He's an edgy boomer, but he's a boomer.
But so when we were watching that clip of him interviewing Cameron Bertuzzi, and Bertuzzi starts throwing out all the names of the theodicies.
Yeah,
we start doing the Pokemon cards thing, and then at the end of it, he goes, "Well, I don't know if you just want to speak to the axiology." Like Bart, remember we paused on Bart Ehrman's face because he looked at him like, "Bro, what the fuck are you talking about?" Right? Like it was the funniest look because again, no real scholars talk like that. Could you imagine just being in motherfucker? It's a real job. It's normal people who've just spent a lot of time studying a particular subject. Imagine somebody talking to you like that over a water cooler while you're trying to eat a sandwich, right? Like you'd punch them in the face.
You scoff, but I know that there are faculty at university, tenured faculty, to this day, who teach Klingon. Okay. Literally, like you can go to college and you can waste your money on mastering the Klingon language, and you too may one day be a professor in Klingon.
Right,
because
right.
what the fuck else are you? Well, I guess you could be maybe a consultant.
Right.
There's a ton of jobs in Star Trek nowadays. They have made a cottage in it. There's got like 4 or 5 different Star Trek.
That was one of the buzzwords I keyed in on early in this footage. He started talking about professional creationists, and I was like, "Yep, that's the whole thing right there." But no, I think
what the hell is a professional creation?
But that's what Rebecca's a professional creationist.
Yeah,
standing for truth. They are. Well, no, they're
professional creators.
Well, I guess they're not. I'm kidding. They're not they weren't. He wasn't talking about YouTubers. He was actually talking about the like heavy hitters, I guess, in their world. But but no, I just think that it's sort of like the the cult thing where, there's the people who are being groomed for it, and then there's the people who are, just happy to, the true believers who will who do themselves, right? That's like, it's like the Taylor thing, right? It's like, so Taylor's this cell biologist who says, cell biology points to science, to God. Cell biology as a science points to God, which it doesn't. It's like, is she a mole for the Discovery Institute? Well, yeah, that seems actually pretty feasible. But she could just, that could be aspirational in that case. You see what I'm saying?
I was gonna say, I think she aspires for someone to pick her up, because
that's kind of what it seems like. Yeah.
Discovery Institute, I think, could have produced a much.
They would have sharpened her up a little bit if she was on the inside. I think you're the first person that brought that to my attention. Yeah, I think that's a really good point.
She's reaching out. I think she's cashing in. And again, totally my conspiracy theory. I have no evidence of this. This is entirely my Sherlock Holmes speculation meter going off. But I speculate that Taylor is just one of those, fundies who got raised as a fundamentalist Christian, went to college, has been inundated or inculcated in this belief system, and I think has reached a point in her academic career where she can't go any further, maybe as a creationist. I don't know. I'm surprised you can get a master's degree. I still haven't really seen her bona fides yet, but I'll take her word for it.
Her bona fides?
Her lab setup is a backdrop. Like, I think it took me
I think that's a backdrop.
Yeah,
I'm pretty convinced.
Yeah, that's backdrop.
But wouldn't you agree that wouldn't you agree that my large inflatable spliff is better?
Then, oh yes. Oh yeah, dude, your whole setup. There's always practical effects, in my opinion, are always superior to CGI.
Yeah.
Always.
Yeah, exactly.
It's one of the few things.
Yeah, you gotta invest in really invest in the space.
99.9999, like a lot of nines, practical effects, where it's at.
Yeah, I agree. So dude, I appreciate you. Let's see. Look. We're gonna play one more clip. We're at 4 minutes and 53 seconds. No name. We can do it. We can do it. We We got this.
Is there any way? I don't know if there's a table of contents with a timestamp where it says.
Oh, let's see.
Maybe I would at least like to know how he can arrive at creationism from that.
Let's see how quickly they get to it. If not, we'll skip around.
Even if you just learned about that concept from standing, even if you're in the audience right now, like you're watching this later or you're just working, and you're like, I don't know what the hell endogenous retroviruses are. And so the first time you've been made aware of this subject has been from what Standing for Truth just.
Can I be honest with you? I don't know about this shit until this whole thing.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's kind of surprising.
I think I probably learned. I'm sure they came up somewhere in grad school, but I was probably like molecular blah 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 whatever, and I'm sure somebody's giving me a talk on it. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure they've been talked about around me. I'm just I just like many other things people do. You know what I'm saying? People.
I've watched a lot of.
Dog. Do you know how in our community people talk about genomics?
Yeah.
Dog. All right, people talk about genomics. I literally am ready to fall asleep because I have a ton of colleagues who work on. You know what I'm saying? That's all they talk about. I don't care.
Yeah.
I'm just like, all right, boring genomic stuff. Bye. It's no, and literally like, it's no disrespect to your YouTube channel. I would do the same thing to my biology friends.
If
Like,
I devoted 10 years of my life to a subject, you would think, like, if they gave out PhDs.
No.
Right. And
No.
I would love to talk about it. Like, that's my thing.
No. I could never do what most evolutionary biologists or really biologists do. I could never do it. I think it's the worst. I think it's so boring.
Why?
It's just boring. It's just god awful. They work so hard. Like, most people don't realize that, like, biologists, like, they work, like, the lab work these people do. It's not even like you have to be brilliant. No, that's not the part. It's just like the grind of it. Like, it is a lot of really hard work, right? Like, crazy hours.
It is not a procrastinator.
No. And it's all okay. And here's my point, right? And it's like, it's not even like, so, you know, people go on about genomics, right? My colleagues, when you're actually like the people who like do this stuff every day, like, they're not just talking about genomics. They talk about genomics and like transcriptomics and proteomics and anabolomics and you know, I know people who are all about metabolism. It's just like, and so they're all specialized in some super, and they do all this work, and it's just to like figure out how like some expression level over here like regulates this thing over here, and you're like, yeah, cool. That was a mountain fuckload of work, and you found out that thing, and you're like a science superstar, and you're amazing, and I don't care. But good for you. Go science. Go team. Very well done. Fucking well done, my guy. So for me, I'm lucky because like I work around people who are like kind of spunky and like a little off. And we're like theory people. So we like want to do like weird experiments that like test cool theories. And my advisor's advice to me is literally like, find the thing you find the most fun and exciting, and it'd be like the biggest, coolest question, and then ask yourself, why aren't you asking that question? And I'm like, you're right. That's what I should do. And he's like, yeah. And so I work harder than ever, but it's actually just because I have a boss who's like, yeah, you should do whatever you want and like be good at it. And I'm like, oh yeah, well, I don't have a lot of time, so I gotta go. My cult needs me. Cult of J Bundy time. Hey, Mike, appreciate the support. But no, seriously. So, but no.
And we got welcome to the show, Base Catholic.
Yeah. Oh, Base Catholic.
Thanks for yeah.
Thank you.
He's Team Jesus.
Yeah.
The name Base Catholic, the name didn't give it away.
Well, if you like Jesus, even though I'm a non-believer, I love me some Jesus music. So a lot of time on my Pocketlocker86 streams, you can
play a lot of Jesus.
You play a lot of Jesus music, and you might find yourself moved in the spirit. You might then be later moved to the spirit of doubt, but it happens. All right, so
play a lot of sermons.
We still haven't gotten through our 7 seconds.
I know. Whoever invented atheism, invented it. I hope he is burning in hell. Damn you, Vrishapati Diogras Ajita Kambali, for creating delusionalism. I don't know what that was. That someone's name?
Yeah. Lately, people have been dropping some weird names. Sometimes I Google them, but mostly I don't care. See, that's the thing. It's funny. Like it's cool because when you make a certain type of content, people think you care about that thing, and I'm like, okay, sure.
Yeah. Right. Like, for one thing, like, I feel the need to defend atheism. Right? Well, as you know, Newton invented atheism in 1627. Established the tenets of atheism. Motherfucker, nobody invented atheism. Dude. What are you talking about? You know who you know the first people to be called atheists, faith Catholic? Christians. Christians were the first people historically to be called atheists. You were called atheists by Greek pantheists, you know, Hellenists, who believed in a multiplicity of gods. And they thought you know, based Catholics were a bunch of kooky atheists because you didn't believe in enough gods. So, you know, ironic, isn't it? The people who invented atheism were in fact Christians.
Damn.
Dun,
Dun, dun, dun. Womp, womp. But that's what I mean. Like, that's the whole thing. It's like, look, you can wear your dunce cap in public if you want. And I can laugh at you because I feel like it.
Yes, exactly. He said these are the notable names of atheists who are credited as inventing atheism. It's like one day some guy sat down and invented the idea that he didn't believe in God, right? Or that, like, he didn't think a God existed. Like, that had never occurred to nobody before that moment, right? This was a completely novel, you know, like, novel idea, right? Like, one day, some guy was just sitting around, like, smoking a blunt, and he was like, I wonder if no God exists. I'm going to write that shit down. I don't believe in God. I bet God doesn't exist. Boom! I'm going to call it atheism. Checkmate. I win. You think that's how it went down, Jay?
Had to have been. No name. I just thought about something, like, in a weird way, because we're not going to get far through this, but we don't really have to. Like, this is the thing, like, this is what I was saying, like, in our own weird way, like I said, you know, we want to do the friendly, let's have a debate, and we can't do that if all you're going to say is, nah, this is wrong and this doesn't work. And essentially, it's our
the creator, therefore everything was created.
Whoa, no, hang on. I'm saying it's not gonna work when I do that, because you know how you talk about the argument from like they do, right?
Yeah.
That's essentially what I'm doing.
Yeah, it's the Hitchens razor. I like to hit.
Yes, exactly.
You know,
yes,
like
exactly. It's exactly what it is. That's
I
exactly what it is.
I used to feel this, maybe it was a neurotic tendency or something, but it was like this compulsion to counter argue everything, and I still do it sometimes. Sometimes I'll see something really dumb, and I'm like, and I'll just have to weigh in on it.
Right.
But I've gotten a lot better. You know, I used to live in the comment section, just burning that motherfucker up, right? And I've gotten more philosophical about it, and I don't feel as obliged to answer everything. I can just literally just say nuh-uh. I can just dismiss the dumb.
Right. Dismiss the dumb.
Like, I don't need to go through and research, you know, the quote unquote invention of atheism to know that even like the SCP will admit that there's no formal agreed upon first, you know, atheist, right? There are a bunch of notable early atheists, but it's because, you know, back in the day, like 12 people could write. So if some motherfuckers wrote some shit down and it survived for 3,000 years, it stands out to us from the, you know, the lack of other shit. But I mean, there's so, you know, so what that 12 dudes wrote down some stuff about atheism 2,500 years ago. I guarantee you, 10,000 years ago, there was some dude like me who was just a born skeptic, and, you know, his shaman or witch doctor was trying to convince him of the existence of, you know, the elk spirit or something, and he was like, no, that's bullshit. I don't see no elk spirit. Fuck you. Making that shit. You making that shit up so you don't have to work. All you do is sit around a campfire all day, smoking fucking that mushroom shit, and having and convincing everybody in the tribe that you speak to some, you know, cave bear, but you just making all that shit up so you don't have to go out and hunt. And that literally, to me, like, that's how my skeptical, cynical brain, I think that is the invention of religion. Some motherfucker got high and he was lazy and he was like, I don't want to work. But man, it's easy to make shit up and convince gullible people.
Dude, no, it's funny because I think about this a lot now, that there have always been atheists. There have always been doubters and people who didn't buy it. Yeah, of course. And also, but I really do, like, I was really, like, sitting here reflecting on it in a way that I found a sort of profound appreciation for, actually. Because I'm sure literally a lot of them have died for it. Many of them. Oh, yeah. You know?
Oh, yeah.
Like, seriously. And it's kind of interesting because I think that is, like, one thing that I guess me and you, at least, can, like, get with people and unite with being persecuted for, like, that transcends any sort of other identity marker. Like, we can all take, like, kinship with people who have died for not believing.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
I feel, you know,
no matter what you look like, right?
I in a bid to get with hot goth girls in the 90s, I joined the local chapter of this Wiccan society when I was in college. And like I said, it was literally because I'm apparently a sexual predator. But anyway, I infiltrated a Wiccan circle, is what it was called, because I was like, man, these bitches be playing it fast and loose with the love. It was the 90s, whatever. It was that time. But in that brief interlude in the Wiccan community, I came to the conclusion that it was just as equally made up bullshit as everything else.
Right.
And some people I don't think took it very seriously. It was just like a LARP to them.
Right.
That really put me in touch with the idea that, like, this group of people were just, you know, like most Christians, they're just like faking it, you know. And I think, I don't know what that is about people. Why so many people feel this common need to have this community role play. Because I think that's what religion is, right? It's just, ooh, that got echoey for a second there.
Yeah, it's my I think there's a there was a
Hang on a sec.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, there was like a reverb on it. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Is it better?
No, it's good. Yeah.
All right.
Back to normal.
Hang on one sec.
Sure.
All right. Sorry, I needed to take a sip of water.
No, it's all good. My sinuses are. Ooh.
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna play them for a couple minutes and see what they say, and then we'll
good.
call it.
I'll mute myself and go blow my nose.
All right.
That's a good question. So, the question I like to ask, Rebecca, is: are these really the ancient remnants of past viral infections that have been passed down vertically over millions of years, right? Or are they created units of DNA function? So anybody familiar with me or my debates, discussions, they'll know that's a question I like to ask. So the question you're asking, are they viruses That is the key question. Because, and what I'll do is, if it's okay with you, I know I'm a visual learner, so, and I understand a lot of other people are too. I can show a diagram of herbs. Just let me know when my screen is shared and I can go over some of these.
Yep.
Some of these slides.
Your slides are there.
And I see in the chat we've got some of my arch nemesis. One of them, Andrew Cumming. So I just had a 2-hour, informal debate discussion with him last night, and we touched on a lot of the details. Actually, for the first hour, we touched on all the details pertaining to what are endogenous retroviruses, right? So right here, endogenous retroviruses, what are they? Once retroviral DNA becomes incorporated into an organism's genome, it is called an endogenous retrovirus. Rebecca, this is because the ERVs originate from within, right? Where your exogenous retroviruses, typically when somebody hears about exogenous retroviruses, they think of the HIV virus, which if somebody's infected with an HIV virus, that virus can be passed on horizontally, but not vertically, as in they're not passed down to, subsequent generations. So again, here, after inserting into the host genome, the endogenous retrovirus can still produce retroviral particles if its DNA is transcribed by the host cell's biochemical machinery, if the ERV infects a germ cell line. So this is where it's key, is if you have one of these exogenous retroviruses that insert itself in the right way in the right spot, okay, let's say a sperm or egg cell, and then fertilization occurs, then it can be inherited from generation to generation. So to the evolutionists, when we look to these sequences, they'll look to it as a historical account or a historical record in terms of evolutionary history, common descent. So that's a little background, that's a little context. So going to your question, are they viruses? Well, evolutionists believe they're viruses because, as you can see here in this specific picture, the way that the ERV sequences, Rebecca, are structured is very similar, if not nearly identical, to these exogenous retroviruses that can be passed on horizontally, like HIV. Okay, so if you look on the slide here, you have what's called the LTRs. So these stand for long terminal repeats, right? So you have host DNA on either side, then you have the viral genetic material. So long terminal repeats on either end. And in the middle of the ERV sequence, in the middle of these LTR sequences, you have what's called the GAG, POL, and ENV properties. The GAG, POL,
I just love the vibe with the music to
now,
this.
it just so turns out that this is the structure of the ERV, but it's also the structure of retroviruses. That you
and of
can,
course the background noise
hit with.
of the fire
Obviously can make
and
you
the tape
sick, lead to
hiss.
disease, and then therefore you can pass it on to
I don't
other
hear
people.
anything.
So that would be
The
one of the
ambiance.
few reasons
I don't hear anything
why
other than the
evolutionists would
video.
believe that these ERV
Must be
sequences
too low.
then must be the ancient relics, I guess you could say.
Oh, I
genomic
hear it now.
fossils
Nice.
of past retroviral infection, right? So
Now, is this
go ahead.
something that we've observed? I'm sorry, I just wanted to ask this before we move on. Is
Interrupt
this just
anytime,
something that's assumed? Is it assumed or is it
Hey,
observed?
Jay.
So that's a good question. So the what's called pre-existing or fixed ERV sequences.
Yeah.
For example, fixed just means
Sorry, I was listening
stuck
to the
in
mix. Yeah,
place.
what's up?
So that means for the
Oh,
most
I
part,
was
every
I
single
was
human
about to
being
ask,
has
is there a way to
these,
turn that
retroviral
off for me?
sequences, Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, turn that back
they
off
would
for
be
me.
fixed, and they
Thanks.
would be pre-existing, as in they were never observed, right? So that's a good question that you asked. They were never observed to be inserted, and throughout my book, I back up everything I'm saying with the technical literature, and they would admit that, yeah, for the most part, the majority, that's usually what they say, Rebecca, the majority, you can see this in chapter 1 of my book called The Details. The majority of ERV sequences happened millions of years ago, the insertions, and so we're just looking at the viral genetic material as they are right, in their positions within the genome today. So it is an assumption that these are the ancient remnants of past viral infections. That being said, we do have what's called unfixed herb sequences. And so, you know, those look like they could certainly be the remnants of exogenous retroviral infections. But why this is important is because of one of their functions, the pre-existing herbs. So if you look at, and we'll get into this because this is one of the main objections from the evolutionary camp, Rebecca. So important questions to answer. Why are there herb sequences shared between the genomes of organisms? 2, if viral-like sequences in the genomes of organisms are functional, so that's my position in the book, is that the reason why we share these in corresponding locations, let's say between humans and chimps, is due to common design. They're created units of DNA function, therefore we would predict function, but critical function, essential function. And that's what I want to go over soon. But the second question is, if they are functional, and we'll get into that, Rebecca, I think that's important. The second question is, if viral-like sequences in the genomes of organisms are functional, why do they bear similarity to viral genetic material, right? The first question you asked, why do they look identical to exogenous retroviruses if they aren't really the ancient remnants of exogenous retroviral infection? Actually, before I move on, did you have anything to clarify there? Any kind of follow-up questions?
No, we can continue.
Okay. Especially because the questions you're asking right now require a lot of context. Because the evolutionists, they're going to say, oh, you know, Standing for Truth just admitted that
I doubt she's following.
There are true endogenization events, right?
Yeah, exactly. Like there's no way.
I think this is all over her head, and he is doing what you often, and I'm surprised you haven't said anything about it tonight or this morning, is that he's doing what you often complain about, is that he's like overcomplicating certain things. Like
everything.
He's like he's not trying to speak like plainly to lay people.
I was just trying to understand.
He hasn't been wrong about a lot of stuff that I can follow, but there are certain things that I admit I don't necessarily 100% follow. And I think it's because he does use some jargon, and I think it's because he's not an academic. I think he's.
Yeah.
I don't know what his. Like I said, I don't know what his background is, but I'm not getting the impression that he's actually an academic. I think he's an enthusiast. He may be like me. Like I'm a science enthusiast, right? Like I ain't no damn scientist. I have no doctorate in anything. But any idiot can actually write a book.
Right.
You know, and all you've got to do is just take the work of other people and then editorialize a lot, right? And that all you have to do is just take all this stuff right here and say, I'm just interpreting the data differently.
And that's what it
Voila.
is weird to me. Like I noticed that with that other guy, God, I can't think of his name. Sal, maybe?
Yes.
Yeah.
The Asian guy?
Yeah, and he's always like, you know, talking about science and what this one scientist said in his book, and I'm like, that's usually a no-go. Like, why?
That's exactly what Otangelo does, and that's why I call him out on his quotes and cherry picking.
Oh, it's so ridiculous.
That is the hallmark. If I have to quote some motherfucker all the time, right. You know, which I don't. I'm trying to remember the last time I quoted an atheist to a Christian. Like, why? Like, why would I quote Chris Hitchens other than to say something like, well, that which can be, you know, claimed without evidence can be dismissed without evidence.
Yeah.
You know, but I just, it's not like I'm saying it because in the immortal words of Christopher Hitchens, you know, nothing like that. It's just like because it is the case.
That's exactly what they do, and I'm like, and even if you, and look, listen, even if the person says that, like, okay, fine, like you don't have to be perfectly scientific all the time. None of us are. None of us lives a perfectly scientific lifestyle. But the issue.
What the fuck is a scientific lifestyle?
I don't know. To me, it means like, do I really think about like what the empirical evidence would suggest is the best decision I could make at all times? Like, no, definitely don't. You know what I mean?
Honey, this morning I'm going to do an experiment with my oatmeal and my grapefruit, and I'm going to add 0.08 milligrams of sodium to the recommended list because I sweated out a good bit.
Yeah, exactly.
Stirring up your guts last night, Mama. You know what I'm saying? Like, nobody lives that way any more than Christians wake up in the morning and they really live in a God world. You know what I'm saying? They might, even the ones that get down on their knees and pray, because I was one of them, we don't actually go out and get in our car and drive to work and literally think,
like you're praying,
Jesus could take the wheel any time now.
Exactly, yeah.
No, you don't live in that world.
Exactly.
You live in my world. You live in an atheist
somebody's
world.
Not being like, just like it's not wild for somebody to like, live as though they're, Jesus isn't going to take the wheel at any moment. Scientists are people, and they write books, and they have opinions, and even if they express a particular opinion, that doesn't mean that that's a scientific act. Hang on.
Oh, sure. So
it's like,
there's
some scientist wrote a book and said a thing, but like, that doesn't make it scientific what he said, right?
Apologia. Do you watch Apologia?
I do. I love Apologia. Yeah.
Have you? He has done some great takedowns of that with AIG, where he'll show some pop sci looking article that comes out from the ID people about how it's now much more probable, and we have peer-reviewed science now, and all this shit. And then you'll look into it, and it'll be some, geologist, right? Like the paper it'll be a geologist who's written a paper about biology. And when you read the paper, it turns out it's not actually a paper.
Again, like same thing here. Like this is like, okay, so for instance, like I hate to say this, but we've done this. Like we did 12 minutes and 30 seconds. I think we've been charitable to our guests.
Oh God, more.
You know what I'm saying? We were ambitious. We overachieved.
You said 5.
Smashed it.
You said 5.
Smashed it.
I thought that was being optimistic. We got to 12. Y'all, that is the doubt equivalent of the Red Sea parting. Okay, like this is a big deal. You know what's funny?
I haven't slept much in the last week.
This is how I know that base Catholic bullshit. This is how I know atheists have always existed. Right? So you just got led out of Egypt by God's prophet on earth, and you have seen some crazy shit in that time. You're one of the survivors, right? You've made it, right? You haven't made it to the promised land yet, but you've made it out of Egypt.
Dude, let's see if I can end the show on the show.
What do you mean?
I don't
understand what that means.
I'm gonna try to see if I can edit the location. All right, here, let's see. Next. Yeah. I think if I press this one button, I can actually just end the Jay Bundy show and then start the after show and chill there, because I want to run to the restroom and then just relax and do some shit in the studio before I pass out.
Sure. Yeah. I didn't know the plan. Yeah.
I didn't either. I literally was just seeing right now, but I see it on screen.
Yeah.
People see it on screen. See, folks? Look at it on the tube. It's awesome, dude. It shows all the platforms we're on. See, folks? All right, so here's a little plug, folks.
Wow.
I know you see the ambitious content creation. I know you see right here that we're live on Pocketlocker86 on Facebook, Pocketlocker86 on Twitch, Pocketlocker86 on YouTube, Jay Bundy on YouTube. But, you know, we're underachieving because we can do 8. And so, oh yeah, I'm also on Twitter. But I'm going to start doing some rando platforms. There's some platforms that I've like literally never heard of. And so look forward to I'll notify you of some new streaming platforms. I would tell you which ones, but I literally don't even know, and I haven't decided. So
we need to start.
We're gonna meet. We're gonna have a meeting of the minds.
Yes.
Yeah.
And this also needs to go in the meetings, in the agenda notes. I'll make a hashtag tag in the private chat. I
appreciate that.
But this is another one that just occurred to me right now. We need to set up for the church, not for you or I in particular.
Okay.
Right. So we can create any character we want to. Right. So this is let your imagination just soar.
Okay.
But we need to create an official Church of the Flying Man Christian Mingle account.
Dude, I already downloaded it and put it on my phone.
Yes. Have you set up an account yet, or did you just download it?
No, I just downloaded it. I had to like log in and do the thing. At that time, I was like, no, I'll come back to this.
You talk the other day. You kept saying that was a very important or very special episode. You know, what would be a great episode?
I could make it. Yeah, we could make it. I'll make it.
Make it live.
Yeah, I'll make it live.
Community.
I was just thinking of that. I was thinking I would sometimes do some Tinder swiping. I could do some Tinder. Yeah, we'll do some Christian Mingle live.
Yeah, we'll do some Christian Mingle live, and we'll make the account.
We should put it on the Holy
get a
Fans
bunch
page. Let's do this on the Holy Fans page. Yes.
We'll link it all back to the Holy Fans page and all. It all circles.
So I think what we'll do is I'll find a way to go. We'll find a way to go live on the stream channels, and what we'll do is we'll put up like a webcam and like a screen of like something else, and just do like chat and stuff, and then we'll actually have we'll like do the Holy Fan stuff, and then put those clips over there at times, and then we'll do the same thing. But yeah, we'll get it together. We'll figure it out. We'll get a game plan. We'll figure it out. It'll be fun.
Yeah.
All right. So
you're just now tuning in, folks. You've really come in at the best part.
Stay tuned for many more things. All right. So with that in mind, let me see. So I can do that, and then I think I can, for now, do other scenes like go back to the camera. Oh, there we go. Hey now. Alrighty, so then I can take that off the screen. I'm checking out my new rig. Let's see. Yeah, I just got back into like Streamlabs, and I'm not gonna be here very long actually, because I want to do OBS.
Right on.
But I want to have a really, really solid, well worked out alternative. All right.
Yeah,
so
I agree with that philosophy of the more I've been thinking about it of if you can stream 9 places or 100 places, stream 9 places or 100 places.
Yeah, like why
why the fuck? Yeah, why stream? It's like and then especially by virtue of the fact that you have more control over your content, you can just be all like, fuck a whole lot of YouTube. Bye y'all, I'm out. Deuces.
Right.
I got 8 other platforms, my audience will follow me. They'll just they'll have to download another app that they probably already have.
Right. Yeah. I'm just trying to I'm stoned. All right, there we go.
I know the feeling.
Okay.
I know the feeling.
So I got it though. I'm good. I did it.
Woo!
I made it. And then I'm gonna
all God's
do
children will
Let's
eat
do
now.
one more. Ooh, and now I gotta do it again. Okay, great.
What are we doing? I don't know. I don't see anything.
I just changed cameras. Sorry. Yeah, I went over to back to my studio scenes. I'm about to do the offering song, I think.
Oh shit.
Yeah, I'm gonna close with.
Oh, I guess I should. I guess it is about the time that I wake up my neighbors. I mean, it's 6 in the morning. It's a good time to sing church music. I mean, it's Sunday, right?
Exactly.
That's what you're supposed to do. Most other places, they try to take your money up front. We try to give you hours and hours and hours and hours and hours of nonsense before we ask for your money.
There we go. I did it, y'all.
What did you do?
I got all the extra screens off the screen.
And nothing's changed on my end. Everything looks the same. So that's why.
Oh, you'll see it. You'll see it in a second. It'll take a second. But yeah, it worked.
I got you.
All right.
I don't know what I'm celebrating.
No, you won't see it on. I'm not on Restream. It's on.
Oh.
I'm only on the stream. Yeah.
Oh, I see.
The Restream I got just held up at the thing so I can end the Jay Bundy stream when I do the closing.
Right on.
All right. So, with that in mind, folks, it is time for our offering song. Sorry, I'm getting used to the new rig, y'all. I'll get it together. I missed you guys. I missed this pulpit, my sweet pulpit. All right. Actually, I slept really good. I'm feeling rested and
healthy. Your skin looks good.
Refreshing.
Hair. Did you get your hair did?
Thank you. Got my hair did. Got my hair did.
Your hair looks good.
I actually cut it off. Sometimes I could just take it off. Yeah, I just cut it off.
I saw you.
You know what happens, man? All I got to do. You know what? I'm going to do a thing, right?
Do your
When
thing.
I end the Jay Bundy show, I'm going to go take a break. And I'm going to just take it off. I'm going to cut all of it. I'm going to cut all of it on the break. On the break.
Do a little striptease?
In the bath. Nope. I'm going to just shave it off in the bathroom.
I'm talking about your clerical vestments.
Yeah.
Will you do a sexy little striptease?
No. Oh,
for the audience. For the audience.
Oh yeah, I could do that.
Yeah.
All right. But look. All I gotta do is take the testosterone supplement, and then it's just right back.
Yes.
Full on.
Are you taking Fogain?
The Fogain.
Fogain?
Belief. When you believe like I believe, bro.
That's right.
It's like minutes later, it's like woof, like it's just like zap, whoa, boom.
I have a buddy. It's definitely not me, but I have a friend of mine.
It's like the Viagra for hair. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Well, speaking of, I have a friend of mine who signed up for one of those like generic, Viagra type supplements from one of those, like Canadian websites,
No, really though.
Oh yeah.
I thought you spoiled yourself when it comes to penis pills.
I don't know. He's literally one of those engineer buddies of mine, and it was when he and his wife were trying to have like their 4th kid or something, right?
Oh, there was a reason to go. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
I thought it was like knockoff Viagra. I was like, that's not the thing to do.
Right. No. Well, and he's one of these. No. Like I said, he's one of these engineer types, right? And he's literally like he's the kind of guy who will calculate like the best deal at every restaurant. He knows like the best menu item for the money. like value for dollar. Like he'll just obsessively do shit like that. He's just he's not a miser though. It's weird. He just likes value. It's like a thing with him.
Yeah,
And
no, I
so-
know the type.
Yeah, right. He's not a miser. Like he's not a
Yeah.
miser. He's not a stingy person.
Yeah,
He's not
yeah.
like he's like a money grubber who's not generous or anything like that.
Right.
So it's just an interesting quirk of this guy, right? But yeah, so he signed up for this Canadian website that got like it was like Viagra knockoffs for like $2 a pill or whatever it was. It was a hell of a deal because I remember he showed me what the normal cost was. I was like, God damn, you know.
No name. He is a common design guy.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I wasn't making that. Well, I mean, I don't think I was making that like as uneducated. I saw some of his conversation with the guy.
Yeah, I just noticed there's a
he
comment
mentioned
here. There's like a comment here at the bottom that says it. I'm like, so I guess we didn't have to make it very far to see.
Oh, says what comment where?
Andrew Cumming said on the chat to the video.
That's the guy. Yeah, that's the guy he debated.
Oh, that guy said common design
that's why,
doesn't make
that's
sense
why I
here,
knew.
though. Yeah, yeah.
Hey, I know. I like
Oh.
to make people think that I have psychic superpowers by saying in jest that I don't have psychic superpowers, but I like to make them think that I do in fact have psychic superpowers because my predictions are generally accurate. Because when I make a prediction, it's usually based on something that I have some passing familiarity with at the very least. And this guy, I have more than a passing familiarity with. It took me a minute to make sure that this was the same person because I don't think he did a lot of talking in like voice chats and stuff. But the Standing for Truth guy, I've been running into him in various like Discord servers and YouTube live stream comments and sections and stuff like that for a long time now. And my memory of him was that he was a flat earther or a flat earth. If not a flat earther, he was like a young earth creationist. I knew that much. You meet so many people on the internet, and there's a lot of different screen names, and people change them and things like that. But that one just kind of jumped out in my memory because I remember there was some argument that he and I got into one day. And like you've said several times tonight, that these people at this point, they all know better, right?
Yes.
And I guess kind of ties back into that thing about the Wiccan LARPing and shit like that. I think fundamentally it's just a LARP. That's all it is. And I called them out for it one day in either a Discord chat or a live stream chat.
No,
and I called him out. What?
Yes.
That's all it is, right? It's just LARPing. It's just putting on a show.
Folks, that's the spirit of doubt. That is the spirit of doubt right there. Because
call me Doubting
LARP.
Thomas.
It's a live action role play. I said that about your religion. Yes. I said we said it's no name. You were done started something because I have to
make some like complicated argument.
I think this is the first time I've ever spoken about Rebecca publicly, and you went straight. Your religion is a LARP. Wow.
Yeah. Well, I have a Jay. If you know anything about me by now,
great.
You know that I am not.
Do you think she's gonna want to still have me on Examining Evolution?
I mean, probably not, but that. I don't want to speak. You know what? I'm being mean. I bet you she would. I'm not saying you could say anything. I don't think that we've necessarily said anything like disrespectful about her. I personally, I think I have a little bit better opinion about Rebecca than you do personally, but I also am a slightly more optimistic person than you are, which is not. I mean,
well, you know what it is? You know what it is?
low
It's
bar.
both. It's both things. It's really weird. It's on the one hand, it's like
I thought we were gonna end the show.
We are. I'm gonna end it with the dropping bomb. But here, look, I wanted to wrap up the apologetics real quick. So I wanted to just say,
right on.
Basically, it's like I think she's actually a really great person, and I sympathize with that. At the same time, I'm just realizing she's very strategic and like actively engaged in her efforts in a way that actually is a lot more respectable and ambitious than I thought. Like I have a lot. I'm like, you're doing the multiple channels thing.
You weren't giving her enough credit, man.
I wasn't.
She got a little hustle to her.
She got a little hustle to her. She got a little game to her. Yeah.
I like I said, I think I had a slightly better opinion of her than you did. But that could be from her point of view. I guess could be viewed as insulting, right? Because in my worldview, that just seems savvy, right? It just is, well, yeah,
absolutely.
You got an agenda, you got an audience, you got a platform, you got a reputation. Fucking, use it, girl.
Right? No, I think it's really
but
smart.
Does it make me like slightly more dubious of her, Susie Homemaker, like Martha Stewart kind of, you know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
yeah, sometimes I think she puts on the nice a little too thick. Like when she slips into snarky atheist mode, there were moments where I'm like,
I was like, oh, okay.
That's way too easy for you,
right,
Rebecca. Like it's so easy for you to sound like a pissed off, snarky atheist teenager, the mad at God type.
Yes, and I think that's what I'm saying. I think I caught her saying something one time in a stream, and I said something about it in a chat, and I think that's where our interaction started. And she's been really sweet to me, and I try to be really nice to her because I think and that's what I'm saying. I see both sides. Like, to be honest with you, she reminds me of my mother, and like women in my family. So like,
yeah, but all the women in your family are evangelical Christians too.
Right.
So
that's what I'm saying.
Shocking that they would.
Right. So
have anything in common.
So I'm just saying it's not personal animosity. It's not like something that makes me incapable of interacting with the person. It's like, no, we'd be fine. You know what I mean? It's just, I realize that like I shouldn't treat you as though you're like naive and you don't understand these things. I should treat you as though you are like, oh, okay, you're like knee deep in the other side. Okay. Which, to be honest with you, can I be honest with you, dude? I love it. What I'm realizing is like, and again, part of what I think I'm going to be able to I'm excited to show my colleagues this stuff because like I said, with the job, with teaching with Rob and what I do with my research, it actually applies. But actually, it's so hard to find stuff for students that is like being made now. That was the thing I really was trying to like show. That's what they like about what I'm doing, right? Is like it's easier to show them like, no, people are into this stuff like right now. People have talks about evolution every day on the internet. You know what I'm saying? For us, that's like, really? You know what I mean? And then you show them and they're like, what? You know what I mean?
Yes.
So I love doing this because when I show this stuff to my colleagues, they love it. It's like a light bulb goes off.
When I told my buddies about my hobby one day, like we were sitting around playing D&D or something, and somebody was like talking about hobbies and stuff, and I was like, yeah, I have a weird hobby. And he was like, what's that? I go, I argue with flat earthers on the internet. And he's like, there are people who believe the earth is flat. This was like, I don't know, 2016, maybe 2017. And I'm like, yeah, there's a bunch of them. They have conferences and shit all around the globe. Right? There's Australian flat earthers that I've met and talked to. How can you be from Australia and be a fucking flat earther? I have no idea. Right. Somehow they manage. Yeah, there turns out there's stupid people in Australia too. They're not immune. Or crazy people or whatever.
Right.
Both. One day I'll have to show you Flat Earth Aussie Jesus. I think that guy will just crack you. He's like the Australian Flat Earth Gandalf or something. He's fucking hilarious. Thinks that the moon was created by a race of giants who scooped up the contents of the now Grand Canyon and flung them into outer space, or not outer space, because he doesn't believe in outer space, but he believes in like just distance between us and the moon is, inside some kind of dome apparently. But the moon was made by the contents of the Grand Canyon being flung out into space by giants.
What?
That's like I said. There are real people on the internet, on YouTube. They have channels.
Dude, you know
they
what?
They go on other people's channels and have debates. Thousands of viewers. I'm telling you, it's wild. Like I wouldn't have believed it until I didn't believe it until somebody told me about it like 7 years ago.
Dude,
7 years later, I could have a goddamn PhD.
How are you down with like just trying to go find people like this and
trying? They're in my fucking DMs on goddamn Discord right now. I could probably summon one now.
I mean, are you down to like systematically though, like actually go out of our way to start hunting people with weirdo beliefs on the internet?
Oh, I mean, I thought all you had to do was hang a shingle and they'd show up. Like
I hope so. I hope so.
It's so ironic that you say that, but you fucking ban everybody that has wacko beliefs.
No. I'm good. I'm good. Now that I don't have the. Now that I don't have to worry about dicks, I'm good to go.
Oh, right on. I was just meant in the live stream chat, man. Like, let them be dumbasses in the live stream chat.
Oh no, I don't care about that. Sometimes I just think people are if they're trying to like flame me, I don't like it. But then also, I gotta be honest with you, I'm into this thing of like banning people super quickly.
I don't know. I want the interaction.
No name.
The algorithm just cares about interaction, man.
No name. I know. You're right. You know what it is though? Sometimes I just do it. I gotta be honest. It just feels good to ban people. And so I decided I want it to be like people, like a game. Like I want people to like, for the most part, as long as you like, me, like I'm always trying to incentivize people to fucking chat, right? So as long as you chat, like, take that risk. You might make me laugh. You might, but I just might like be in a bad mood one day and like not like your name, or like you might misspell something and I don't like when people misspell that word, and I might just like ban you. I don't think it's a good idea. It's just the reality of it. No, honestly though, it is something I want people to know. Like I think that for a lot of times, like I am trying to like stream, and I'm usually trying to do stuff. So if I feel like somebody's like actively trying to distract me from what I'm doing, that's like where I feel like if someone's being antagonistic to me, I'll probably just ban them because I don't have time to deal with it. Yeah. But for the most part, I'll let people say what they want. But yeah, it's just the thing. It's like sometimes you just got to make a decision about it, right? And sometimes if I think somebody's like actually trying to irritate me and I don't want to deal with it, right? It's like I don't have time to think about it. Ideally, I'd have ideally if I make you a mod, I'll just tell you to put somebody in timeout, and then you can just like time out them. Do you wanna? We can like just make sure we get that worked out to make sure that the mods have access to do that. And
yeah, I thought that just came. I thought that just came with a wrench. Like when you click on, so say you got some asshat in chat just going nigga, something like that, right? You just all you gotta do is you if you're a mod, like Cameron, YouTube, Nano, whatever, they can click on. You should just be able to. I think I did it one night. I clicked on someone's name and it brought up like a menu of options, right? Like block, timeout. Things like that. Things that normally
also,
you don't
remember,
have.
Also, I'll say this. I get a lot of spam, and I also get a lot of shit from bots. And so if I don't know, it's just like I don't trust somebody. And so also, like, this is on people. This is on you as a YouTube chatter. Like, if you come to somebody's stream for the first time and you don't know what's up and they're live and they don't know who you are, and you just, like, drop some super weirdo shit right away, like, and I'll also be this. I'm a streamer. Like, I genuinely don't care about the numbers. So to me, it's just like
I thought that's what streamers cared about was the number.
No. Honestly, I love streaming. I love what I'm trying to do. I got a thing I'm trying to do. I'm trying to get there a lot of times. Also, it's like things like, also like I want to keep the certain like I like part of that is like I'm a Twitch streamer, and like normally before you go into a Twitch stream, there's like rules that they tell you, and I'll like try to make this stuff sort of automated on YouTube to the best I can, but like so that you get presented with rules and shit before you're in the chat, so that people can tell like right away, like this is what I expect.
Well, you can do a subscriber only mode.
I think I did put it on subscriber only mode.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that way you're I mean,
yeah.
like if you want to chat, you at least got to sub, right?
Yeah, you got to sub, but a lot of people will do that and still. So yeah, it's just especially because a lot of times I have it on the screen too, right? So it's just
got
like
what on the screen?
The chat.
Oh, right on. Yeah.
So if it's antagonizing to me, it's like, yeah, that's not fun. I don't want that by your. I just don't want you around.
I enjoy. That's the difference. I'm a masochist. I'm like, yeah, throw it at me, roast me, baby. It's. I guess I'm so self-deprecating.
I am if it's legit. I mean, you see with somebody who's legit, like if it's a Tangelo or even biblically, like, you know what I mean? Like I'm down for it as long as they're. And the other dude came in here like topless and fumbling around.
Oh, I ain't gonna lie, dude. When Ace was in here the other night, I had my finger over that blue tab. He stood up.
I know. I was like, come on.
He put his hands around his waistband to like pull him up.
I know.
And my first thought was he's about to drop trowel and whip out his dick. And I went to click on it, and then he just kind of like walked away. Like he just kind of like, like you do, because it's fucking. He was wearing like what, sweatpants or pajama bottoms or something. I mean, he just looked like some homeless bum who just stood up and just like adjusted his waistband. But I was so fucking triggered that I literally I almost kicked him out, because that was one of the options, like remove from the room or something, like remove from the stream. I almost removed him from the stream. I didn't say a word to you, but I was like, yeah, this dude drops trowel, gone.
Exactly. All right, dude. This was super fun. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna first off, can we get? Hang on a second. Oh, you know what it is? I gotta work on my soundboard here because I got new sounds, but I didn't put them all in the right place. It's all right.
All right.
I'll
You do.
yeah, I just gotta find the actual ones that I need, the sound effect ones. There we go. I got what I need. All right, well, thanks for bearing with me. All right, we gotta give that round of applause to my man Deacon No Name for holding it down. Woo! All right.
Too much. Too kind.
And so I said at the beginning of the show, I'll tell you why this show shouldn't have happened. And so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna be a real YouTube pervert here, and I'm gonna drop that on people, and then I'm gonna just end the show.
Just like that, folks.
That's
done.
Just literally like that. All right, so folks, I want to thank everybody. I know there's been a lot of stuff going on. We're going through a lot of changes. It's because we're trying to get our game together. I want to thank all you for your support. And basically, it wasn't any technical issue or anything crazy like that. And it wasn't what, normally it is, which is that we're going to show something that's going to be a copyright violation or something, and we're going to get the stream literally pulled in midair. Or even that the stream I was going to say something so controversial that even atheists were going to cancel me. All of which would have been a perfectly reasonable guess. Perfectly reasonable guess. But the truth is, No Name, before I, spent all night solving technical issues and then doing the show in the middle of the morning or whatever, a friend hit me up. A very, 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 very good friend who I love very much, who is very near and dear to me, who I think is just an amazing, 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 wonderful person who I love so much. And I just hope I just get to spend all the time with her because she's just lovely, lovely human being.
Wow.
Yes. Great. She's a really good friend. Actually, she's super cool. She's like the coolest person ever. But yeah, she hit me up.
She's your crush, huh?
And no, not the crush. Not the crush.
Oh, she's not your crush?
No, definitely not my crush. Not a crush. No.
Okay.
Just a friend.
Okay.
Just
You don't love her in that way. You
No,
love
just
her.
a genuine
Okay.
friend.
Okay.
But she hit me up with another young lady as well. And I was like, y'all need a third. But instead of doing that, I was like, I gotta do my show.
What?
So who has that kind of commitment? The next time you watch some other atheist, some other YouTube punk out there, not other than YouTube punk, of course, one of these flag waving phonies,
some no-name guy,
some other drummer, some Pocketlocker, not named Pocketlocker.
Yeah, some other Pocketlocker.
No, seriously. Ask yourself.
Although I think I did accidentally subscribe to a rapper named Jay Bundy.
Ask yourself, would they miss a potential menage a trois for their live stream? Do they have that kind of commitment?
Probably not.
Folks.
You're a true monk.
Folks. When I say champions have championship responsibilities, when I say being the most high apostle of the cult of the flying man is a full-time job. When Late-Night Counter-Apologetics is on the schedule, Late-Night Counter-Apologetics happens. It doesn't matter what's at stake. It doesn't matter what else happens. The show has to happen. It has to happen.
Preach it. We got to save souls. We got to save souls from Jehovah.
Must be saved. Woo!
We got to spread that doubt. I mean, he could have been spreading legs, but he was spreading doubt.
That can wait some other time.
Booty can wait.
Oh, my goodness. All right, folks. Love you guys. We're going to do like an after show thingy. I get to go over here, press the little button. Then hopefully the Jay Bundy thing machine goes bye-bye. And then I'll go to the bathroom. If you're on the Pocketlocker, people, just stay there. And if you're on Jay Bundy, you should go over to Pocketlocker. Otherwise, I'll see you later. Did you guys enjoy the stream?
I love it. But I'm biased. Sounds like the audience.
You want to praise the flying man?
Praise his name. Let Myron in. Let him in, y'all. Look at him, he got the spirit. Look at him, he's full of it. The spirit's out, moving it. That ain't human. No human can do that. Only the spirit can do that. Let the spirit in. Don't fight it. Don't suppress it in your unrighteousness. Let the spirit out. Feel you. Let it free. Let it get free. Woo. I'm out of breath. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Reverend.
Oh.
I can feel it emanating.
Oh, my goodness.
Spirit.
Oh,
strong.
My goodness.
That was strong, Reverend.
Oh, my goodness.
Strong stuff.
Whew.
Hallelujah. Amen.
All right, folks. In the name of the Darwin, and the Dawkins, and the Christopher Hitchens, science bless you.
Hail Sagan.
Thanks again, no name. Poof.
Poof.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. What's up?
Nothing, I got it.
Oh, okay. We not live now?
Oh, he did the whole race.
Yeah, up here.
Yeah. Well. Too many cars gotta stay out the way. Especially the streets when they in a rage. I remember my nigga, he caught a case. On a run on the low and he did the race. Caught a body, it ain't really shocked me. Rubbing on demon time since the bottom. Older bro in Miami, man, we sharing mamas. I wish I could've stayed in from all the drama. Rare roof, we was really there getting money. This then with the place where the rain or sunny. Know my niggas gonna catch me, I ever stumble. Know my team gonna pick up, I ever fumble. Niggas ain't winning, they really punt. In that location, we coming, so we loud guard of your niggas. We stayed 100 if you been on my block when we kept it coming. The plane, cause I carry a lot of weight. FaceTime with my baby, make sure we straight. Breakfast with able to start my day. Chop it with Henny and talk with A. Joey Crack is my dog and we get a bag. Champion South taking devil crash. And somehow I still go when I get the cash. But it ain't never been about the bag. I've been dipping in fashion, I'm about to spaz. Latest release like the sneakers app. So that done worth more if you sell it fast. Made more off the merch than I did off rap. Made more than merch than you did off rap. Yeah. Made more off the merch off rap, and I ain't even had to mention my DJ Sass, yeah. Said I'm gone. I 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 said I'm gone, yeah.
Been going and going, and shit got my main line going crazy. Going, I've been moving strong, remember they tryna play me. Said I'm wasting money doing all these songs, ain't nobody gonna play them. Now a couple months, I don't drop a tape, niggas be like we waiting. You cannot find me in Roddy, we just touching down to Miami. The way the police got these niggas on records, they all need a Grammy. It's all for the family, told my daughter how my car when I'm landing. It's all in the plan, your circle gets smaller when you start expanding. Where we came from, that shit made us so heartless. Fuck what they talking, I do me regardless. I'm not pulling up there without a deposit. Run my money. Pull up a gang, I'ma pull up with goblins. They put in work, but them niggas is jobless. Put in that work, they be saying it's timing. Gotta trust the process. Couple niggas expired, I feel like I'm timeless. Hey, I'm still here, you heard? Do it by my lonely, I don't need no accomplice. How you on that same block for like 5 years? And it's all you accomplish. How, going and going.